kayak off the roof because I had the kayak on the roof. Put it on the wheel cart and wheeled that mother home.
Took the kayak off the roof
and wheeled it home.
Wheeled it home.
You're better than me because when I broke down in Alabama and had the boat behind me, I left the boat and the truck in Alabama.
This is just the way that it is. We have 3 viewers on the improv show tonight. Falling on our faces tonight.
All right, bring us in, Ryan.
So, welcome to this Thursday night's live podcast of the show at Fish North, Georgia, which will probably be a different name next week, but it may be the same name. I don't know. I really don't know anymore what's going to happen. We're still going to give away a ride. I think we're still going to give away a ride. So
who gets the ride if we?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I come up with a great name the other day, and then Jacob Fleming said, "Nah, you can't do that." And I was like, looked it up, and I was like, "Crap."
What was it?
Doc Talk. Doc Talk Live.
No, I suggested Doc Talk Live like 5 before you did anyway.
I you said that after I said that. I didn't notice that. So anyway,
I'd let you borrow the.
Our guests who were scheduled are getting off the lake at this moment because they had boat trouble. And they could not. He called me at 7. He's like, we were just getting off the lake. There's no way we can make it. He's like, we had boat trouble with the motor. I was like, all right, well, that's fine. We'll improv it. So y'all get to talk to.
Shoots me a call at 7:15.
Yeah, I call Farmer at 7:15. I'm like, I need you, man. I need you back.
7:15 was early enough for Farm to get all of his sponsor stuff on. You got the Bass Reaper shirt,
Bass Reaper,
TRC covers hat.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
I need to get some of those rod covers.
He's got True Grit underwear on.
Yeah, I got True Grit underwear on. I ain't gonna show nobody tonight.
I kind of want some True Grit underwear.
Yeah, exactly. So break out to 1,000 exactly. They don't know what kind of issues they're having, but the motor all of a sudden wouldn't run. Evan Rude, but that's what's on the back of David's boat. I think is an Evan Rude, so that's probably one of the reasons why. So y'all have to bear with me tonight. I've been dealing with sinuses like all week this week, and it's really like been up and down, like pretty hardcore on me. So my voice may hit a different tone. It may sound terrible right now as is. I don't know.
Sounds like he's hitting puberty.
It sounds like okay. So this is Ryan hitting puberty tonight. Apparently, is what this is according to Farmer.
It's a throwback Thursday. Ryan's 16 again.
Yeah. Well, probably more like, I don't know, earlier than that. I can't even remember. It's been that long. I turned 30 this week, believe it or not. I was
Happy birthday,
man. It's 30 on Monday. And I was like, a bunch of people texted me, and they're like, do you feel over the hill? And I was like, I don't feel no different. And they're like, you will. So I was like, it's whatever. So what we're going to do tonight, we're still going to kind of talk about kind of the same topic. We're going to kind of talk about some tournament fishing. And like some strategies, but instead of having 2 guys who have won a bunch of hardware and have accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars of tournament winnings, we're just going to be short those 2. So, but hopefully,
we had been in some tournaments, so
yeah,
I mean a few.
Yeah. No, Chris, it's all good, man. I just it's just sinus drainage, man. That's all it really is. It's nothing else, and it just, how that gets. I had a major sinus headache Wednesday, and I was here by myself all day, and I just really didn't get much accomplished at all on Wednesday because I just felt terrible. But so anyway, talking about this, we'll get on with the show because this is going to be the biggest improv that we've ever done. So it's just me and Farmer and Paul.
Hello.
And y'all get to Paul. He doesn't always get to be on the camera, so we're going to give him as much camera love tonight as we possibly can. So
I'm going to still go hit a button every now and then.
He might go hit a button every now and again, but we're all sitting here reading the comments, so if we see stuff, one thing that's going to remain a constant for you that are watching, and we'll say it again throughout the show, if you got any kind of questions, any in general whatsoever, shoot them out to us because we're just going to be talking. We're just going to talk bass fishing tonight.
We need all we can get.
And we need all the help we can get because, I mean, some of us struggle. I mean,
I haven't even seen a bass in like 3 weeks.
Farmers struggle. I fished Saturday and Sunday, and I had pretty good 2 days in a row. But the BFL is going to be it's going to be a slugfest this weekend. It's going to be legit slugfest. I really and truly I believe it's probably going to take somewhere around 40 pounds to win. I mean, in all honesty, because
I'm gonna say 44, 45 pounds in total. Somebody's gonna
crush 'em.
Somebody's gonna bust out a 22-pound bag, 21-pound bag,
right,
twice.
I can see that.
Right. That's a Saturday I fished, and I probably had about 16, 17 pounds, and then Sunday I fished, I probably had about another 15. So I mean, it was just, I mean, I was like, wow, you know, we're gonna be. I'm looking me by myself. I mean, I'm looking at in the mid 30s, you know, and I'm really just out here I was kind of messing around, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I was goofing off, and I was like, if I'm just goofing off and I'm doing this, I mean.
I went Wednesday, and that cold front was coming through, and the fish were still biting like it was 4 or 5 days post-frontal.
Dude, you could see them grenading bait when I came over the dam this morning.
Yeah, that's
yeah, they've started that schooling stuff.
So, all right, well, first question we'll answer right here. And guys, I want to say this real quick. Talking about what Buddha said. If you're fishing the BFL this weekend, whether or not as a co-angler or as a boater, leave a comment. Say I'm fishing as a boater, as a co-angler, and we'll give you a shout out. Tell you good luck and all that good jazz that goes along with it. Because you know,
I'll see you there.
Yeah, Farmer will be there. I'm gonna come Saturday. At the weigh-in, I'm gonna pop my lawn chair out and I'm just gonna sit back, and if some people that I know come across the stage, I'm gonna woo.
I thought you had a tournament on Saturday.
No, I got a tournament Sunday.
Yeah,
I got a tournament Sunday, and then we got the ABA next Saturday.
That's right.
So I was on Lanier at War Hill, so we got two pretty big tournament.
Or the ABA.
The ABA will probably have about 40, 50 boats somewhere around in there. Also next Saturday at the same time, will be Scott Barnes' tournament going on a Little Hall, and I think he's taking 80 boats, and I'm sure he'll have 80.
That's a benefit tournament. Is that a benefit?
No,
tournament?
it's just one of his scheduled tournaments that he has, that he pulls permits for the year. So
couldn't remember if it was.
So he's gonna be there, and I'm gonna fish my first ABA. I fished ABA about 10 years ago as a co-angler. This is gonna be the first time I've come back to come be a part of the ABA.
I see how you are. Come whoop up on us.
Well, I don't know. The only reason, if I didn't do what I did this past weekend, I probably wouldn't have come, because I just don't fish those big tournaments. I don't like to fish those big tournaments.
If I do what I did last weekend, it's not looking good.
I told you. I told you last Saturday. I said, well, I had a pretty good day without you.
Yeah, I'm a bad luck charm.
Yeah, I mean, and I had a 5.5 pounder, man, and largemouth, and I was like, woo! In 45 minutes, I was sitting dead red with about 15, 16 pounds, real quick.
Let's go over my Saturday here. I broke off 8 times on the hook set.
Yeah,
changed line 4 times
with a spinning rod.
Which
I don't see how you done it, but it's whatever.
I'm swinging like there was a jig on there.
Oh Lord, that don't help.
Let's see. Kicked my measuring beam in the water. Spilt dye in the boat. Had a pound spot bass take it away from about a 4 or 5 pound largemouth.
Mm-hmm.
Hook itself because I didn't swing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of the Saturday I had.
Well, on the bigger and better things. That's just the way that it is. So, got Joshua Little. He's going to be fishing as co-angler. Nathan Buddha. He's going to be fishing as co-angler. But it's Saturday was rough for everybody, though. Farmer. So I guess talking about Altoona.
Altoona was tough, all except for Tony.
All except for the winner.
Tony had a good bag. Tony had 14, 15 pounds. Of largemouth.
He had a big largemouth to go with 6 something, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Excuse me while I swallow my Coca-Cola. So how's it going, Kevin? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. We had a comment up there talking about a fluke. Somebody asked about where to throw flukes at, and I
Everywhere.
I mean, it really just whenever.
As much herring as, like, if we're saying Lanier, as much herring as in Lanier, you could go skip boat docks with a fluke and get bit just as productively as you can go out on the marker poles where everybody else goes and fishes them and get bit consistently. The fluke's a all-around bait on Lanier, these herring lakes, Lanier, Notley, Blue Ridge, Chateau.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to fish a fluke, and the fluke is like it's one of those baits that it's I guess you could throw it in that pocket of if you can do it, if you can think of any way of doing it, you can do it. I mean, you can use it as the back of a trailer. You can put it on a fish head, yeah,
or a underspin. Put it on a scrounger.
Yeah, there's really endless. There's really endless possibilities. You can even Carolina rig a fluke. I mean, I've done that. Texas rig a fluke. So it's one of those universal baits that you just, if you're going to be fishing any lake that specifically has any kind of herring. I mean, it works in lakes that have shad, obviously, but specifically lakes that got bluebacks in them. A fluke is something that you need to have in the boat for certain situations. Whether you're throwing it on a bait caster or you're throwing it on a spinning rod, it really don't matter.
I've put it on a shaky head fish down in brush, weedless.
Yeah.
Just to see if I could pull a bigger bite with that fluke versus a finesse worm.
Yeah, it's just endless. There's endless possibilities with it and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, so going into the BFL this weekend, I know there's going to be a lot of the big name guys are going to be in there on it. We'll have I know Brett Matthews is fishing. I know the Rock Turner's fishing, Farmer's fishing. There's a lot of guys fishing that I don't know all the guys. I don't have lists in front of me.
There's a lot of good anglers going to be there Saturday.
Yeah, Phil Johnson will be there. Tyler Bagg will be there. A lot of the guys that you see around Lake Lanier, that's their home lake. You're going to see them there this weekend, and you're going to be looking for them probably to be up towards the top. Another guy, Jeremy Eaton, he always has pretty good success when the BFL is here on Lanier. Brad Wiley, the list goes on and on. There's too many names to name, but it's going to be a fun weekend, I think. And guys, I'll just be straight up honest with you. There's a lot of different ways to catch them right now. Everything has changed. Yeah, everything's kind of changed with this cooler weather, and it's just it's really started to speed up the process of the fall bite, and it's really starting to start getting heated up, and it's getting to that point now to where if it looks good, there's probably fish. It's not so much like it is in the summertime. Well, if it looks good, there's not necessarily always fish that wants to bite, or even if there are even fish there. But now it's starting to get. Saturday I caught fish on buzz bait. I caught fish on toad. I caught fish on swim jig, and then I threw a top water. I caught some fish on top water, some schooling fish, and I drew some fish up. And then Sunday, I went and done the complete opposite of that, and done something completely different, and I got bit on a spinnerbait like first thing in the morning. And then of course you kept on going. Sunday we had some cloud cover that stayed and hovered around till about noontime, and there was a different array of baits that I picked up, that caught fish on.
Seems
I stuck one thing in my hand a lot. I'm not really going to say what it was, but it's going to probably come into play, I'm sure, this weekend, because I'll be honest with you, I caught like 20 fish on it. So
Not too tight on.
yeah,
I know
so,
what it is.
Yeah, so I told Farmer what it is. I told him, I said, you better have one tied on, and you better throw it. So,
But they've started, the herring has started showing up in small and big schools on these, moving on their way back to these creeks, and these big spot bass, and these schools of spot bass are following them back. So you're already starting to see the schooling fish for the fall transition. That fall, what they call the fall feed, is when it's easy to find those fish. You can just go over there, fire a fluke, topwater, anything like that, and call up the active fish. And if you see active fish, there's more fish around, then you can go to a spoon or a hair jig and just rip that thing off the bottom and get those ones that won't come up off the bottom.
You're getting advanced over here now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're getting some advanced
I can
tactics.
talk all the advanced I want, but I can't show it when I get on the water.
Yeah. Somebody say crappie bedding up. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure you go catch crappie. The only time I ever catch crappie is if they accidentally bite something. I don't really fish for them. I'll jerk their lips off.
Feel a jerk like there's a bass on there.
Crappie famous for bedding in November, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
October, that's crappie bedding.
Jeremiah will probably tell you everything you need to know about it. I know he's always posting pictures.
It could be. Jeremiah, give him a rundown on the gram tomorrow about crappie.
Yeah, well, I think he made a post the other day, a big old long story talking about crappie. If you follow Jeremiah, he's always posting stuff, videos, and he's always giving how-tos and giving you good hot topic information about stuff. So go follow. If you don't follow him on Instagram and on Facebook, go follow Jeremiah, and he's always throwing out pictures, and he's always throwing out little tidbits of information, and he don't care to share exactly what he's doing to get bit. Yeah. Good luck fishing this weekend. Yeah, that's Kevin. I know he was out there.
Are you in this thing this weekend?
I'm not in this thing this weekend. I have a club tournament Sunday.
Which lake?
It's on Lanier.
Also Lanier.
Yeah.
But only 20% of the field's going to be there Sunday. They're going to knock. They're going to knock it down to the top 20%. From Saturday to Sunday.
How many is it are in for Saturday?
I was about to say, like, that's what I was about to say.
I don't know. I think it's going to be like the first one they had in February, where there was 322 boats. Because it's the
I know what day I'm fishing this weekend.
It's the super tournament. So I mean, it's the payouts. I think the payouts almost doubled.
There's a lot of guys that's going to be here this weekend that all they got to do is not so much fish to win. I mean, certainly fish to win. But there's going to be a lot of guys that fished all year long, and all they're looking to do is catch a limit on Saturday, whether Farmer's one of them, trying to get to the St. Johns River.
That's right.
And all they need is...
Okay. That'd be me.
Oh, so you're in this thing.
Yeah. I think I'm ranked 19th right now in points.
Oh.
So, and the top 45 get to go to the St. Johns from the Bulldog League. And all I'm looking for is to put a limit in the boat so I don't get knocked out.
You excited?
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah?
That high school tournament.
That's a stupid question.
That high school tournament.
I've been tore up for a week.
I know. He's talking. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, you need to just go fishing and you'll be all right. There's a high school tournament on Chautauqua this weekend. And I was told through the grapevine that they're expecting 150 boats
on Chautauqua.
I was like, dude, there's half the field's not going to catch a fish.
And the ABA championship's going to be there the same day.
Yeah, half the field on both of those things are not going to catch a fish.
Y'all better bring your own rock to stand on.
It's Chautauqua, man.
There's going to be the 150 boats plus another, I think, 40 or 50 on there. So it's going to be 200 boats at least on Chautauqua.
Chautauqua gonna get pounded. It's a little bit, little lake. It's a little
lake. Got some big fish in it, but it's a little lake.
Big fish in it, but
they're all big to me.
Buddy, when they all crank their motors up every single dang fish in that lake's gonna hear them on Saturday. They're gonna hear a rumble.
You're not wrong. Where are those events even going out of?
The campground.
No.
I mean, they
One tournament. Well,
One tournament
they both were going out of the campgrounds at one point because the campgrounds double booked them.
And is the other one going to go out of there?
So ABA is moved to one of the other
that
ramps.
one on
that
south,
one down on
south of town.
south end. That's like in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's got like 40 parking spots. So, I mean, it's. We put in there one time.
I put in there.
And it was like, I mean, it's like in the woods. There's like, you open up and you see this little cut, and there's the boat ramp.
Yeah.
Going down, there's a lake. That's like you're secluded and isolated away from everything.
Yeah, and I don't know
Harry
if that
Beasley
little-
said fairgrounds for high school. So, yeah. So that's
Man, high school getting the good treatment.
yeah, that's,
Eric, you fishing that one?
I don't know. He seems to know a lot about it because he's a high school kid.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's.
Well, yeah, it's
he
hard
could
to-
be in that thing.
He'll be in that thing. I
I bet he's in it to win it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say he is.
I think the winning
Yeah.
weight will be under 40 pounds. I just don't know about that. 'Cause, I mean, it just they're chewing, man.
And I mean,
they're chewing.
people are posting pictures of 4 and 5 pound spots like every day,
Yeah.
and this is just
Weekends always a little different though.
weekends.
Yeah,
Always
Weekends always a little different.
from what I saw Wednesday. If the boat traffic's good, the fish are gonna be chewing
Yeah.
because every time I had a boat pass me on Wednesday, here they come.
So you're probably not going to have that much
No.
this weekend. The only boat traffic really probably going to be from bass boats.
That counts.
Well,
Counts
and
boat
sea-doos. I mean, Sunday morning.
I don't know. There was a cabin
Sunday
crew
morning,
out
I
there
got
in the
down
rain
on-
the other day.
I don't know.
Come by me and about swamped me.
Swamped you. I got down to Port Royale Sunday, and here come an army of jet skis heading up the lake. I was like, "Where are y'all going?" It's just like they're going up the lake. It just kept on going. I kept on. I passed them.
I see.
so.
The thing that gets me is to see him up around like Lula or Belton or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
you're, just
they're-
like, you're up there in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, brrrr. Like, where are you going?
Or however damn jet skis sound. It's like a two-stroke dark bite out there.
Lake roaches.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a tournament up there a couple weeks ago. I saw a genuine like Florida style airboat up at Belton.
Really?
Yeah, you could hear I could hear him coming from like a mile and a half off, and I just kept hearing this droning sound. I'm like, what the heck is that? Full on airboat.
Just don't fish nobody's brush pile unless you got decent head movement and a good right hook, apparently. I hate to tell you this, but
Somebody comes ramming my
the,
boat over a brush pile. It's going to
the-
end up with a couple holes in it.
the
Fire torpedoes.
the brush bite
There's a 1911 that sits in my boat.
the brush bite's going to work to a certain extent,
Oh, hey,
but it's not going to be as hot and heavy as everybody thinks it's going to be. Because a lot of the fish that I caught Sunday, I fished some brush and I didn't. They were this big. But then when I got off that stuff, they got bigger.
They've moved. They're following the herring.
They are. They're like laser focused on the herring right now. Like they don't care wherever the herring is. They're following them, and they're not really sitting around much of anything at the moment. So, but I mean that may totally change this weekend. So, but yeah, they are. That's just my opinion. I mean they're off the brush. I mean that's just the way it is. I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything.
No.
Because I don't. But from what I seen personally fishing 2 days in a row this past weekend, the brush fish were, I'd swear, man, the brush fish were this big. I get off the brush and
It's too easy for me to get off the brush.
go into some other stuff, looking at some other stuff, and it's like Saturday morning. Okay, I'll be flat up honest with it. I threw a buzz bait for an hour and a half Saturday morning. I caught 9 fish, and they wasn't none of them under 2.5 pounds. They were all over. They were all hovering 3 pounds, and I caught a 5.5 pounder. You know,
That helps things.
I mean, it helps. It helps things, but I mean, but
It does.
but all the fish, the same thing. Where I got all those buzz bait bites, they were chasing bait down the bank.
Mm-hmm.
They were chasing bait right off of the main lake, chasing bait down the bank. They had
All
the
this-
bait pushed up shallow first thing in the morning.
Lanier is the only lake that I've seen do it because everybody else is on their winter drawdown already. Lanier came up a little bit.
It did.
Which, if any lake rises, some fish are going to nose the bank.
Yeah. So.
Well, we were what? Just a couple weeks ago, we were a couple feet high.
You're about a foot high. Now you're about a foot and 0.3 high, something like that.
That's
basically a foot high right now, and it's going to stay that way.
If it keeps raining like
it's not. We're not going to. I don't. Unless something crazy happens, I don't. We're going to have a high flooded spring again, and we're going to have another winter.
Which is good for largemouth.
It is, but we're going to have another winter, and all guys that fish on Lanier and that know it, and guys that fish like Hartwell and Notley, you know as well as I do, like in Notley, because that's where you fish a lot. When they draw the lakes down, and when they draw those lakes down in the winter, it kind of localizes the fish.
It'll localize them, yeah.
But like the past couple of years on Lanier, they've had too much stuff to live on, and it hasn't got cold enough really in the winter to make them want to all just sit there and stack on top of each other in certain places. Now in the ditches, they're just fished like crazy right now. I mean, this past winter, I'd run down the lake and pull into a pocket, and there's somebody already in there. Go to the next one. There's somebody already in there. Go to the next one. Somebody's already sitting on it.
The ditches got hammered.
I mean, they got hammered this past winter. And I don't know how. I mean, you fishing in Ball Ridge a lot. I mean, I'm sure you probably seen.
I had seen.
You had seen. So see, you'd seen.
Ball Ridge is probably one of the most heavily fished creeks on Lanier.
Half a foot above full as of this morning.
I don't know how it stays as good as it does, as much pressure as it sees.
Half a foot. Okay.
Yeah. So Neil said fished Hartwell. Hartwell's a different monster. Most people are behind the fish. To be honest with you, they are. But the guys that I know that I've talked to this week, it's only took them about a day or so on Lanier for that are fishing the BFL to figure out exactly where the fish are going.
I went over there Wednesday, and I've got what I'm doing.
It didn't take you very long to figure out what your plan of attack was. And that was going to be one of the topics that we were going to talk about tonight in regards of tournament fishing, like these big events, was the plan of attack for what you're going to do when you in any given event on any given lake. Does history play a role in what you like to do when you're going to one of these tournaments, especially if you're a boater? As a co-angler, you're limited. I mean, you're at the mercy of the boater. Whatever the boater's going to do is whatever the boater's going to do. You don't really have no say-so.
Your boater chooses wrong.
If the boater chooses wrong, you're pretty much screwed. But as far as like the boater's side's concerning, like this time of year, we all have our memories and we all have our things of like the fall fishing. I caught them here 2 years in a row over here, and I think they're going to be over here again. How much does history? All three of us will answer this question, and I think this is something that I get asked about a lot too. How much, when you're going into one of these tournaments in a certain time of the year like this one is for sure, and how much does history play a role if it's your home lake?
Too much for me.
Too much for you.
Too much.
Elaborate on that in your opinion.
I just, me personally, I know I have a bad habit of falling in love with spots that have produced in the past and wanting to grind them out. I do think just there are some places that are going to have fish. They're going to have fish every year, and kind of the variable is how good are they. Mm-hmm. They might always have some, and there are some places that are very variable where they could be loaded one year, and then you come back that next year, same season, same conditions, whatever, and it's got awful. It's barren. Yeah. There's just nothing.
You're catching little ones.
Or there's, and partially, I mean, when they're chasing bait like that, if it's down to the bait. If the bait shows up, they're coming. Like, predators got to eat. That's what they do.
We'll get to that question in a minute, Chris, because Nathan asked that about that too. So, what about you when it comes in terms of history? Now, I know Lanier isn't your home lake.
No, Lanier's still kind of new to me.
Right. But you fished Lanier. When me and you fished not last weekend, weekend before last, we went to a place that you wanted to go to. And I told you I've caught fish there too. But it was a place that you always fished it when you came to the lake. Mm-hmm. And we went there and we caught some fish. So, in terms of history, what does that kind of play on a role to you for what you're going to do this weekend?
This time of year, now, if like when we went and the herring hadn't really started schooling, we didn't know it, and we saw them schooling in there that day.
Yeah.
My mind went straight to, all right, I'm going to be running and gunning, going from spot to spot,
right,
with something in my hand, trying to mimic those herring, because I feel like the more spots I hit, the better off I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Now, like what we were doing, we were just hitting spots. Yeah, I go off of history, because my thing is, if it holds fish at this time of year, this is the water temperature, these are my conditions, and they're hugged in, say, because brush piles is a big thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they're hugged in the brush, I'm going to go hit my most productive brush piles I've hit in the past.
Yeah.
Because I've done well on those brush piles. It's easier for me to leave a brush pile I've never caught a fish out of
mm-hmm.
than it is to go to one I've caught 5
monsters,
3, 4 pounders out of.
Yeah.
So
I mean, or would you describe that more of like as a hole?
More of a hole.
Yeah, more of a hole. I mean, I got a lot of holes. Lanier's my home lake. I mean, I got a lot of places where we did that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you fished. We rode up to a place. I told you, I said, if we get bit here, I said, it'll be a keeper. And, you know, it's just you're like, well, what exactly is it? It's this, and I roll up to it this time of year, and you might only get one bite, but it's a hole. It's a honey hole.
It's the one you want.
Yeah. So, I talking about the north end to play a role. So I'll answer this question with what I would do. So based upon what I seen this weekend, the Chestatee and the Chattahoochee are probably going to have a little bit of color to them because of this rain. It's not going to be terrible, but it's going
to be hard to compete with the south end right now.
It's going to be really hard to compete. My game plan, this is my personal game plan if I was fishing the BFL this weekend. What I would do is I would head south, and I would go get me a pretty good limit, as best of a limit as I could scrounge up.
Which was not going to be that hard, apparently.
It's not going to be, and it's really, he speaks a lot of truth on that. It's really not going to be that hard right now. Depending upon the size limit that I catch, if I caught 13, 14 pounds, for example, going south, and I caught them early, if I looked at my watch and I said, it's 8:30 and I already have this in the live well, I'm probably going to turn around the way I like to fish. I'm probably going to turn around and I'm going to head back up. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day looking for one.
Kicker largemouth.
A kicker largemouth. The only reason I say that is because I caught one this past Saturday. And it wasn't me doing what I normally do all the time. Like I said, I'm totally transparent on this. The fish that I caught, that largemouth that I caught, it was not on your atypical stuff. He was up there right off the main lake, and the one reason that largemouth was there was because that bank, the spots were running the bait down that bank, and he was mixed in with them.
A lot of those Lanier largemouth have become herring chasers, just like the spots have.
Yeah,
that's why you're catching.
Some of them really are.
That's why you catch 4 or 5 pound largemouth out of top 20 something foot of water out on the main lake off a brush pile.
Right. And there's getting more and more and more largemouth in the lake. So these shallow places, the bigger females tend to the largemouth on the Lanier is pretty bad about it, but I don't know why. And it's not I guess because the population of them isn't the same as it is on other lakes. But like the largemouth, like a lot of the big females are solitary, and they almost treat this dock or this tree or whatever like it's theirs.
Yeah.
You know, like it's theirs. And I don't know, there's certain instances where it's not like that, but the majority of the time they act like that. I can't tell you this past summer, how many frogfish I've caught in the back of these pockets and getting them to the boat, and there'd be 3 or 4 more largemouth with them. And it's like, whoa, hold on, time out. You seen it with me. You seen it when you fished with me, and I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I've seen this crap off summer long, and it's changing. It's getting a little bit different. So the odds of now of mixing in, you're going to be fishing for a spotted bass hole. Don't start being surprised if you don't also start maybe seeing some more largemouth come out of them places that want to eat herring. Mm-hmm. So then that's going to kind of change the dynamic of the way the lake is, because you might have some guys who catching 3 and 4 and 5 pound spots, and then if they damn run into a 6 pound head, well, all of a sudden their 18, 19 pound bag goes from 18, 19 pounds to 21. Mm-hmm. Now you get a 21 pound bag of fish on Lanier, and if you don't visually see it, the first thing most people think is, oh, well, they either had all 4 pound plus spots, or they had a bunch of 4 pound spots and they got a big largemouth. You're going to start seeing more and more of that latter now, to where people are going to be able to pattern and put together spot patterns. Mm-hmm. And they're also, the percentage of them being able to target a largemouth and get a good quality largemouth bite is going to increase. Mm-hmm. And we're going to really see the weights go up. That's just my opinion.
Well,
this coming from a guy who, I know everybody's like, I fish shallow all the time. Guys, I fish for spots just as much as I fish for largemouth. I do. I'll get out there on the main lake, and I will be out there on the main lake. I will.
Shoot, you sit on a hump that last Saturday.
Yeah, I sat on a hump and fished. And, so, I don't always, my target isn't always these shallow fish with a horny toad and a jig. It's not always like that. But, I fished for both of them. Man, so I've kind of been able to see.
Don't take that away from me, man.
No, I'm not going to take it away from you.
That was my vision of you.
Vision
was always
shallow,
always the horny toad. Man.
Always the horny toad. Yeah, it's always laying on the deck.
My heart.
It's there.
My heart.
Yeah,
it's there. He sees he going across a point, and he sees a big laydown laying on top of it. He gonna go over and throw a horny toad in it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So, let's see. We're going to try to look back up. There's nothing normal. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. What do you want? I'll scroll and get y'all some comments.
I will see. To finish up my opinion, though, real quick, Chris, I think just there will be a handful of competitors this weekend that you will see on Saturday and maybe even on Sunday. They will have a mixed bag, and they will be in the top 10 for sure. Weight.
But the way the largemouth, I've seen the largemouth hit in the last month, just in the last month alone, on Lanier and on these lakes, the largemouth bite's coming back in full force, because these herring have started pushing, and these the bluegill herring, not the bluegill herring, the bluegill hatch.
That's a different species.
Yeah, that's a little different species.
Bluegill herring.
The bluegill herring.
Man, they had got adventurous.
If anybody finds a bluegill herring, please take a picture of it and send it to us.
He wants to see what it looks like.
We want to see what a bluegill herring looks like.
No, when a bluegill and a herring love each other very much.
So Jeremiah said, doesn't the quality of fish go up the cooler it gets? That's kind of a certain. If you get around small fish, you'll catch the small fish. It's just in the fall. It's I always tell people that come to Lanier that don't fish here. They ask me when to come, and I say, if you don't come in the spring, you need to come in the fall and through the first of the winter before it gets real cold. The odds of you catching a personal best spot is very high. If you're not fishing in the spring, they want to feed, man, and all the spots do, man. From everybody's like, they feed up for the fall. Those guys that we fish these herring lakes, they don't just feed up in the fall and then we're not going to eat all winter. No, they don't change their feeding pattern. Yeah, they feed just as hardcore as they do,
I probably, coming out of the winter, the early spring, if you want to just catch one that's carrying a lot of weight, I mean, they get fat all winter.
And that's why Notley's got some giant
Yeah.
some of the biggest largemouth in North Georgia you can find on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
They just get fat all winter. Well, y'all like you were saying, y'all got the drawdown to kind of help with that as well.
The drawdown kind of positions the fish a little bit better, but it also positions the bait. The bait can't.
Yeah, it gives them kind of easier access to food.
Mm-hmm.
Predators got to eat.
That's why you can go up there and like he's talking about the stained waters. I like stained water because of the way I like to fish, loud and moving.
Yeah.
But I know I can go to the south end and put a decent limit together.
Put up a limit.
Put up a decent limit, 15, 16 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. There's going to be a lot of people in that 15 to 16 pound range.
Yeah, there's going to be a
for
lot,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I literally was just burning the bank for the first 2 hours, just fishing the way I wanted to fish. You know, I was like, I've got a lot of. I always get on a good buzz bait bite in September. You know, September 1st of October, and I'm like, I'm gonna tie it on. I'm gonna go whaling around and only focus Saturday on throwing that. And I did, and then I had a decent bag. I mean, like I said, I didn't weigh them all, but I weighed that largemouth. But I mean, I was the first 2 fish that I caught Saturday morning. I was like, God, it's a 3-spot. Then I caught another one. I was like, well, that one's about 3. And then I caught that largemouth, and I was like, damn, I already got 10 pounds.
You're onto something.
You know, I was like, I already got 10 pounds on 3 fish real quick, you know. So, I mean, it was, if I was fishing a tournament Saturday, I would have had 2 largemouth and 3 spots. I would have had 3 spots that were all around 3 pounds, and I would have had about a 4-pound largemouth, and then that 546 is what it weighed.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do. When I run south and I run my holes,
Yeah.
if I have a decent limit, and I say 15 plus,
Yeah.
by a certain time, you'll see me in the backs of these creeks looking for a kicker,
Mm-hmm.
looking for one of those 5-6 pound largemouth.
Jesus, this is rough. Who is? I don't know about that. Who
That's Danny, I bet.
is it? Danny?
That's
Probably is.
Hey, Facebook user, if you go to
live
StreamYard.com/Facebook, we can see your name.
Need to get me a scale. I have a scale. It's a pretty accurate scale. I paid a lot of money for it in my boat, but yeah, it's
All lies from farmer.
Yeah,
that's got to be Danny.
it's one of my fan bases. Everybody hates me.
That's Danny's your number.
You seem so likable to me.
Yeah, well,
Danny's your number 1 fan. He's always. I don't know. Why do I have to do this every time? I don't know.
Do
Not
what?
even close. It's not Danny. If you go to StreamYard,
www.streamyard.com/Facebook, and if that one doesn't work, try / There's only 2 of them. And put in your damn name.
yeah,
it's probably Cody Jones.
You don't have to be a mystery man no more.
Is who
you don't
it
have
is.
to be a mystery man.
You're
So-
not Austin Powers.
Just go to YouTube. Yeah, just go to YouTube and we can see what your name is if you've got a YouTube account. It pops right up. So, text message. It's who it is. Got a text message. That's who it is.
Oh, it's a picture.
Oh, it's Andy
No!
Murphy.
It's Murphy.
Murphy.
Is Murph not technologically savvy
I
enough?
don't think
to...
he's that savvy.
No, he's not,
at
is
all.
he?
I'm not going to say nothing. I like old Murphy.
I do too.
I'll say it. I don't think he's very technological savvy. I'm shouting you out, Murphy. You need to. You like trying to get you to do stuff on a computer is like trying to stick a stick in a dry ground.
I was wondering.
Hey,
I was wondering where he was going.
Dane's got it right there. Dane said he rides the short bus. He does ride the short bus. So with that, I guess that's pretty much BFL. It's
I got a question. I know you fish kayak tournaments.
I've been known to.
You fish your club tournaments, and how do you prepare for a tournament in the weeks before? Do you just go and fish, or do you look at topo maps? Look at
Depends on where I'm going.
fishing reports. Do you look at the moon phases?
I don't believe in that.
The water
You don't
temp,
believe in that?
No, not really.
water temp, water level.
I care about water temperature, and I care about time of year. If I'm gonna prepare, but take the bulldog for example. The bulldog always fishes Lanier in like February. Okay, well I'm gonna be cranking, jerking, and jigging. That's pretty much like all I'm gonna be doing all day. Okay, and
Sounds like a fun day.
and I'll throw a spinnerbait. Okay, that's like all 4 things I pretty much all be having on deck, and that's what I'm gonna focus on throwing on Lanier. When we go to Oconee, I'm gonna have like 2 baits laying on deck, and it's either gonna work or it's not. There's gonna be no in
Hero
between.
or zero.
Yeah, I mean it's either gonna be in between. There's no,
Swing hard in case you hit it.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly so.
As much as I like docks, as soon as I hear Oconee and Sinclair, I'm like,
Well, see, Sinclair, I'm probably only gonna have a couple things laying on the deck as well, but that's because I have history fishing those lakes. I've fished those lakes
There he
before.
is.
it's Murphy.
Yeah, he's got it working. It's working. We got Andrew Murphy. He has a name. Buddha has one hell of a story on Oconee. Maybe one day we get him on here, we'll get him to tell it, because he told me that story, and I was like, holy crap. It was in his old boat. And maybe one day we got to get Buddha on here so he can elaborate on why Oconee hates him. Because when he told me that story, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But basically, it had something to do with a firearm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. See,
Oh, no.
Buddha, I'm gonna short story that for you real quick if you don't care. Tell me if you don't care. I'll short story it.
I'd still like to hear it from the man himself.
Yeah.
I want to hear it from
I mean-
Buddha when he tells it, because Buddha's like, he's like, well, this is how it was going, and he's so like,
There I was.
there I was, standing in my old boat. Basically, what happened was, he needs to come tell it, but basically what happened was his partner was taking his jacket and his bibs off when they were down in Oconee, and a pistol went off, shot a hole through the bottom of his boat.
I shouldn't laugh about that, but
I shouldn't laugh about that.
He can elaborate better on how it went, but that's
one of them
basically the sum up of
it's
what
funny
happened
now
was he got.
because you know that it turned out okay.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, exactly. As it about shot his leg off, when he was taking his stuff off. Buddha said he's standing there fishing. All you hear is pow! It's like, what the heck? You shot straight through the bottom of his boat. It's like, whoa, holy crap! So, don't take your guns to town, kids. I think Johnny Cash said that.
Yeah, Johnny Cash did say that.
So you can see the bullet graze mark on his pants leg. Jeez, Booty, you gotta come on. You gotta come tell some stories.
How did he get the poo out of the bottom of the boat?
Yeah, that's
Lord, I don't know. Oh, Call of Duty real life, yeah. I got you. So,
That's wild.
But yeah, but like it just, I'm hard headed and I'm gonna try to do what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna try to. I'm gonna go look for the stuff that I want to fish, and if that doesn't produce for me in a couple of days of practice, then I'm gonna use my last day of practice to scrap all that, and I'm gonna go do something completely different than what I was doing, than what I was trying to do. So regardless what lake really I go to, I'm gonna try to fish shallow, and because that's just where my confidence is. I've got more belief in myself in that I can figure fish out shallow. So for me personally, preparing for one of these events like that, that's pretty much about how I go. I go in with a mindset of I'm gonna try to figure out how to catch fish on these certain baits, and if that doesn't work, cut all that off and do something totally different.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
See, I would probably be, and I'm not going to profess to be any kind of great angler. I did better.
No,
this,
you're great in my book.
Oh, thank you,
You're great in
Ryan.
my book. You were professional.
I did. I'm a professional.
he sits there and he's like, "Don't patronize me."
Oh, Lord.
No, I did better this year, probably in tournaments where I winged it, and tried just to be loose and kind of play the basic season, kind of just to try to keep it basic and play the season and the pattern, and go from there rather than trying to outthink myself and do a ton of map work or a ton of pre-fishing or anything else.
But see,
like
you're
that.
in a little bit different scenario than what me and him are in. Just using
if,
me and him.
If
for
you
an
start out
example.
and it's bad, you can't run.
You can't
No,
run.
you're stuck.
But
You can't
also,
run.
if you how many fish can you measure during a tournament?
It's 5.
It's 5.
It's a 5 limit.
Okay, so
And then we
you
can cull up.
you
obviously.
don't care. See, so like you don't care how much the fish really weighs. You want to catch 18 to 20-inch long fish.
That is
So
correct.
you're wanting. So even if this fish is starving to death, if it's a starving
That's
to death,
good. Because
spot,
he's easy to catch if he's starving
it's
to death.
easy, they're easy to catch. But if it's say it's a starving to death spot, for example, that would normally, if it was fat, it would weigh 4 pounds. That sucker gonna measure 19, 20 inches long.
Money fish.
You'll take 5 of them.
Money fish.
Because you'll have what 100 and
100,
100 inches.
Well, I mean, 100 inches in Georgia that's a serious freaking stringer.
right. I mean, you're catching all 4 or 5 pounders.
Yeah, unless you're down south, like Seminole will turn out something like that. Eufaula can do that. Those that are in the know on Sinclair can do that.
Chris has invited
I'm
me
a,
to fish.
I must be a scaredy cat. I wouldn't be on Eufaula in a kayak.
Oh,
I saw
Lord.
too many.
I've seen
too many gators.
The several times I've been to Eufaula and Seminole
But,
both.
I mean,
it's like nah.
Up here,
good.
like North Georgia, like I have a lot of friends that fish a little bit. Oh, I'm not sure about getting into tournaments, and I always say, if you go out and you can catch mid 80s, low 90s, like you can go out and compete and have a reasonable expectation of doing pretty well. It's not terribly different though from the outcomes aren't terribly different from what y'all do. You'll have a guy that gets on them good and just hammers them, and then you'll have kind of the pack behind. And it's just the prep work to go into it. It just depends on the amount of time you have. A lot of time. For the lake events, obviously, it's easy to, I think, and that's a problem I have. It's easy to drown in all the information that's out there now.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just way simpler to go out and start with the basics
Trash fish.
and kind of try to
Junk
hone in on
fish.
something.
Junk fish.
Junk
Sorry.
fish. Trash fish is fine too.
if you're gonna go fish a tournament out of your kayak, how many rods do you take?
7 because I can't take 8.
Right. Okay. So you're in, again,
And if I could get 8, it would be because I couldn't take 9.
well, again, you're in a different situation. We got rod lockers. I mean, I got like 19 rods laying in my
I
rod
don't
locker right
think
now.
there's 20 rods in my
Yeah.
boat.
You also can't take as much tackle as I have in my boat.
Nope.
So, in terms of what you're getting at, is you have this many baits, for example, that you can throw with this many rods
Yeah.
behind you in your seat, and you have to make it work with what
I mean,
you can.
sometimes you got to make do.
Right. So,
Uh-huh.
would you say that you go into fishing kayaks? If you're going into a kayak tournament, you would say you're already kind of limited to a certain extent compared to a guy in a boat.
You know what? Compared to a guy in a boat, absolutely.
Yes. But you have to get your mindset. If I'm going to throw a jig all day, you're going to bring your jig box and you're going to bring a couple different bags of different trailers.
Yeah. Dig in.
And
Dig in.
okay.
What I find, and without putting too many people's juice just kind of on blast, a lot of the guys that do well consistently do just the simplest crap imaginable,
Oh yeah.
and they just do the hell out of it. And they're, I think, better at identifying where not just the fish are going to be, but numbers of fish.
You have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
Stands mostly, you stand in your kayak.
Yeah.
I'd be in the water. I have no balance.
I'd be
at
tipped
all.
over on the
It's-
set. I get that.
It took
that's
some.
fine.
It took a lot of practice, but yeah, I stand up and fish now for the most part.
First jig hook set I did and rocked that kayak. Whoosh.
Do you agree with what Jeremiah said?
I don't think that's wrong.
Okay.
Well, if you think about just people talk about Lanier, and Lanier's changed a lot in my lifetime. Like I remember when I was little. I mean, it used to be a lake that just really punished people that weren't in the know, and now it seems like there's about 4 things that you need to be able to do, and you can go out and have a reasonable amount of success on Lake Lanier. and have more good days than bad. You don't have to do a ton of stuff.
See, I didn't start fishing Lanier till the herring and the brush pile game really
took off.
I've always fished Notley, Chattooga, Hiawassee up in North Carolina.
There's always kayak game, and I think for y'all too, though, even in the boat. I mean, there's always going to be bread and butter. There's always a place for that jig rod. That's on deck for you.
It never
More often than not. Don't call it a comeback. It never went anywhere.
It never leaves my boat.
Same thing, spot lakes. You shaky head. I mean, don't call it a comeback. It ain't going nowhere. So I think that's it. I think, and a lot of guys, when they go to start out in kayak tournaments, there's that impulse, I think, to keep up with the Joneses. If you know, if I got the guy next to me's got 5 rods in his boat, I need to have 6. If he's got 6, I got to have 7. If he's got a trolling motor, I got to have spot lock. And I think sometimes people get so caught up in what they don't have and in, I need more stuff, that you start to lose sight of you already had pretty much what you needed to catch fish and to have success right off the jump.
That goes into bass boats as
well.
Yeah. It
how
goes
many,
in with a live
how many
target.
tournaments you've been out there where a guy wins it with a green pumpkin finesse worm?
There's been a lot of money won on green pumpkin finesse worm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. You know.
But how many people is that green pumpkin finesse worm's the last thing they're bringing up? Like,
What?
Did I even pull my spinning rod? Did you even see my spinning rod when you fished with me?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw mine because of what we were doing.
Right. It didn't work.
It didn't work, but
Oh well. We gave it the good old college try.
that's right.
They just wouldn't turn back
But
around.
like that goes with the power poles, the spot lock, the live target on the back or on the front of these boats. Yeah, you might be able to pull up on a spot and throw twice and figure out those fish are going to bite or not with that live target.
Yeah.
It's going to take me 4 or 5 more throws than you did to figure it out. That's time.
it's efficiency. It's a huge thing.
It's efficiency.
That was the first thing I learned, like fishing any tournaments, is your time management and being efficient are suddenly important in a way that they are not when you are just fishing for fun.
But also in that same aspect, I mean, I can go to a spot and make one cast and the whole school come up and I'm like, all right, they're going to bite.
Yeah.
I don't need the live target to show me that they're coming up.
You can see it.
There they
You
are.
got it out. Best tournament I had this year. I picked a place on the map that looked good, and I just went and gutted it out. Instead of, I always like to fish at home. And
I'm too much of a bank beater. If I see something that looks good, I'm going to fish it.
Bank beater mafia.
You put that on a T-shirt.
That's the
You
name.
put that
That's
on
the
a
new
t-shirt.
name of the show, Bank Beater Mafia.
Oh, that's mine. I'm gonna put it on the side of my boat before too long. Hashtag Bank Beater Mafia.
There, that's Ryan's. That's your spin-off show.
That's my spin-off show.
That's the Tuesday. That's the Tuesday show.
That's the
is Bank
Tuesday
Beater
show.
Mafia.
C. What? Finish your
Wee.
finish your thought, Duff Boyd. Get back to us with that thought. Well, see whatever it says.
See.
Talking about Nathan, he says it's hard to put shaky head down, since he became more of a power fisherman. It's tough to drag a worm because I feel like it's so slow. That's when you need to. It's the basics. I heard Bill Dance say it one time. Bill Dance said this one time. He said, if the fish ain't biting a plastic worm, they're not biting anything. Now, how much you want to hold on to that is to a certain extent. But how much truth is there to that? I mean, when all else fails, you throw out a
Here comes that.
Here
green
comes the
pumpkin
word.
finesse
green
worm.
pumpkin finesse worm and drag it around for a while and try to get a bite. I mean, how much truth would you think there is in that?
Quite a bit of truth. But I'll drag out different finesse type stuff before I drag out the
There we
worm.
go, wobble heads and stuff like that. You know.
I'll drag
Biffle
out.
bug, biffle bug on a hard nose head.
It makes a good buzzbait trailer.
Okay.
Um,
Was that juice? Was that not juice?
I don't know.
I'm leaving it at
That
that.
was hard to tell.
I picked up Biffle Bugs at Bassmaster Classic one time. I was like,
Not
and I put them back on the shelf and walked away.
if anybody's watched this show knows that I like to skip docks.
We'd heard that about you.
The biffle bug makes the buzzbait more
Oh,
flat,
well, yeah.
so I can skip the make the the rod rise and skip the buzzbait up underneath
Okay.
docks.
You didn't skip no buzzbait with me.
I didn't have a biffle bug.
Oh, that's true. I didn't have.
I had a
biffle
skirt on it.
You could have had biffle bugs, but you had left them at the Bassmaster.
I
You
left
didn't
them
have
at
none
the
to
bar.
share.
I left them at the Bassmaster Classic 6 years ago. That tells you anything.
And they're still there.
They're still there.
I had a
Them
skirt.
suckers got bought after I left. Somebody else done thrown them. So, I don't know.
I tried skipping that buzzbait with that skirt on there, but it went right in the
Yeah.
water.
Did I skip a buzzbait?
No, you skipped a horny toad.
Yeah, I skipped a horny toad, and that was about it. So, I don't know. So, we're 1 hour into this thing.
We don't have.
We're
a
not
song.
going to sing. Yeah, we're
not
not.
gonna
We're not singing a song tonight.
Don't we have a contest we can plug?
Now we do have.
Do we know all the details of the contest?
We know
well enough
that
to get it out there?
one thing we can say. Well, we've got a handful of people watching. You still got till next Thursday. Any order on True
There
Grit
it is.
Tackle Company.com. Everyone gets a rod from Dan. He'll be thrilled when he comes back from Hilton Head. I'll tell him, Dan, we got like 10 rods we got to give away. He's gonna be thrilled. Any order $49.99 or above on TrueGritTackleCompany.com is you're entered in with one entry
One
fee.
entry.
Anything over $99.99 is 5 entries. Okay, 5 entries. For any of you guys who are on Facebook and on the Fish North Georgia page, they've been the True Grit swim jig and Bad Shad has been really stroking them.
Man, I heard that swim jig was killing them on Hickory. Log.
They're absolutely flat smoking it in
Engulfing
Hickory
it.
Log. They
Killing it on
they won't
Hickory
let go
Log.
of it. I mean, all the big fish that are in Hickory Log have been
But-
caught the past week. Oh, but
It got
Some of them
it
twice.
got hammered Wednesday on Lanier too.
it got hammered on Wednesday.
Don't say that out loud.
It's got hammered. It gets hammered. It's got hammered all summer. You just got to find the fish that want to eat it. But there was a little bit of a lull period with it when they just didn't want to chase it as good. But yeah. So with that $99.99 on True Grit Tackle, you get 5 entry fees, or 5 entry fees. Listen to me. You get 5 entries, and $49.99 you get 1 entry fee. And listen, I can't get these entry fees out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm trying to get Danny to pay my entry fees. Is what I'm trying to do, I guess. So
And if you do that, what are you entered?
you're entered to win a rod,
It is a.
FX. Is it the titanium?
I think it's the good one. Yeah,
I think it's the good one.
Ooh.
I think it's the high dollar
it's
one.
the better one.
It's the
I
better
should say,
one.
because the
Well, I mean,
regular
they're
one's
all
pretty
good.
damn
I mean, all
I mean,
FX,
I fell
FX
in
rods
love
are
with 'em.
good, but I mean, they're all good. But the titaniums are a cut above.
It's the expensive one that we're
And also,
too cheap for.
don't forget, we're trying to rename the show. Several people have said, let's not rename it, but we're going to give it the good gold college try, and we're going to see if we can't come up with a good name. Whoever's name that me and Danny and Paul pick to change the name of the show, the live show to, is going to win and it's upstairs. I picked it out the other day or last week. It's a 7.5 foot medium heavy Veritas PLX rod.
Oh,
Brand new.
Sounds like a good swim jig rod.
And it would be a great.
I was thinking it sounded like a good topwater.
It's really it's going to be what it would really work really well with is the cast OG,
Okay.
because they have enough backbone to throw it.
I was going to say medium heavy sounds a little heavy to.
It's a pretty stiff rod for a
But
medium
it's just
heavy
me.
too. So I mean, I felt
You've got to have the backbone.
I don't personally like it for the rod
for
itself.
me personally, so they got to be softer.
Gotta be softer.
Yeah, you got to throw a soft rod.
Gotta be
in the
softer.
kayak. because the kayak is part of the drag system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any fish above a couple 3 pounds, he pulls you. So when you drop the hammer on him and you start trying to reel him in, you're moving towards him as you're bringing him towards you. And a stiff rod or a rod that's too fast unloads. And anytime you got treble hooks,
It's like John Allred.
It's coming back at you.
It's like watching
or,
John
yeah,
Allred.
or
He's like,
or like a big single hook after you smash him, he comes up and that rod unloads and the jig just falls out and he swims away.
how do you fish a frog sitting down in a kayak?
I don't.
I was just wondering. Wondering. John, if you're watching,
You know, I fiddled a little bit with the frog early this spring. And I couldn't really stick with it. I'll have to come with one of y'all and
wanna fish
really
Sunday?
like commit to it.
You wanna fish
You
with me
need to go with
Sunday?
him if you want to do that.
You want to fish with me Sunday?
He's
Come
been
fish with
looking.
me
He's been
Sunday.
looking for somebody to go. Fish
I'll
that club
suck
tournament
something
with
awful,
him.
but I'll come along.
It's getting cooler. My wife don't like me fishing alone when it's cooler. When it starts getting colder. Just
I
whatever.
can throw the PFD for you.
Need that FX cranking rod for kayak. Chris Taylor, he knows all about. He knows everything there to know about the FX rods.
I fell.
Don't worry about that, Nathan. They'll still eat it.
Oh, they'll eat it. You just gotta find them. Trust me. See what you said right there. You're already defeated to a certain extent when you're throwing it. You're saying it's a big bait. You can't think about that. You just gotta throw it.
I caught a
Dude,
really big. I caught a big one.
They hearing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
a
know.
4.5 pound spot.
Yeah,
Wednesday
it
on
eliminates the little bites.
Big
don't
fish,
it?
big lure.
Big fish, big baits. Got 3 of those.
And I threw it after. Let's see, I'd caught 2 or 3 on that hole before, and I just kept kind of making a rotation because I was trying to get a rotation up for the BFL.
It's called milk run.
It's a milk run.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get my rotation up. Well, I fired that OG over there, and he come up. I didn't want to hook it, but that impulse. I pulled, and about a 4.5 pound spot.
I mean, when they get it, you just call them money.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
knee jerk reaction.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. So, no, we do not have them at the shop. We were sold out.
It was quick.
They sold out in about 3 hours, man. We had
It got down to 1, and
16?
I took it away from somebody.
I think we had 16 of them.
What color did you get?
And they're gone. Man.
Well, they got rid of. They'd already sold out of the herring.
The herring's so fast.
and
they
the
were
black
gone.
and the black
And the black pearl.
black pearl was gone, and there was
That
a bone
black-
left. And I went before it gets gone. That's the
That
only
black
color I
looks
ain't got.
nasty. I like that color.
That bone's got that little silver
Yeah,
side.
that looks nasty. I
Holographic
like that a
side
lot.
to it. So, what's the address?
Sell you mine for 65.
What's
I
the
darn
address of the
$25 or $25 markup.
I don't know the address of the shop. is.
Scarcity drives value,
That's
man.
right.
Do you know?
Go buy one somewhere else.
Do you-
Oh wait,
Do you know what the address of the
it
shop
is. Got it on my phone.
I work here, and I don't even know. I just know how to get here.
I don't know. What are the hours?
I hate it.
Well, we're closed this week.
I hate Harold's. Harold's on here, but he's. I hate y'all had a bad day. Boat trouble.
Yeah,
I saw a comment a minute. The fishing sucked too.
He said something. He said the whole day sucked or something. Or
Yeah, he
today
said the whole
sucked or
day
something.
sucked.
So,
So I'm wondering if it was the fishing or just the boating.
Again, for those of you tuning in, the reason why Harold and David Millsaps is not here is because they had some boat issues.
Yeah, the
when they were getting
reason
off the
you
lake
got my
today.
ugly mug is because they had a motor issue.
Yeah.
It is
This is the
11262 Georgia Highway 53 in Marble Hill. It's on the left.
It's on the left. You can't miss it. I'll sell you mine for $65. That's a ripoff.
$25 markup.
$25 mark off, Nathan. You need to keep that bait. Keep throwing it, man.
If it comes with hardware.
Gas is pricey, he said. Well, you
Well, it comes
quit
with hard
burning-
way as it is.
Quit burning both
Oh, the new
tanks
ones
of
do
your
that.
skeeter empty when you go fishing, and you'll be all right. If you quit burning them both out. But
Yeah.
you know why is it that
you
Skeeter
can't
does
go
that?
too big with the bait?
Why is it that Skeeter still does that? Skeeter and Bass Cat still do that. They got 2 tanks. They got one on the port side, one on the.
I don't know. My
They used to
04
not.
Ranger's got a
They
single.
used to not do that.
Redundancy? Like if you get water in one, you
I
still
don't
got
know,
good
I
gas in
guess.
the other?
I don't know. On the right, coming from Tate, yes. Yes, we're on the right coming from
On
Tate.
the right coming from Tate.
When you come down here, come down 53, going towards Tate, if you're coming from that direction, then you need to, right when you get to Pea Ridge Road, you'll pass the foothills of Big Canoe, is what we'll call it.
Ooh.
And you keep on coming.
Big to do.
And when you
Oh,
come to
sorry.
Pea Ridge Road,
to-do.
we're the cream colored building on the left. You can't miss us. You can't miss us. We have an open sign, by the way, now that flashes.
We do. I saw
However,
it
it's not
blinking
going to
last
be.
week.
It's not going to be turned on until Monday. So I've had a handful of people come, and I'm like, man, we're closed. You know, so it's just been whatever. It's been one of them
Now,
weeks.
was it people coming for fishing, or was it
There's
you know?
people coming for both.
Okay.
You can come to the store and actually come down here and pick out your colors for Ryan to tie you if you want to do that to him.
Yeah, that's
Custom colors. So a True Grit will make you custom colors.
There you go.
I'm just trying to get poured. I've poured a good bit this week, and trying to pour some more. But
I always get poured if I get stuck. in
yeah,
the fishing shop for
Let's
too long.
talk about that for a minute. That goes long.
Oh,
Did
they're
y'all
bringing
see
that
the
back?
re-release of the new and improved banjo? That's what the commercial says.
What's new and improved about it?
I still won't fish
I
it.
don't know.
Is it a last tech?
I don't know. It might be. It might be Z-Man now. Z-Man's Banjo Minnow. Banjo Minner.
No banjo.
I just know that.
Banjo Minners.
I just know. I watched the original video of that, and I remember.
Well, Z-Man's got to have a Z in it somewhere, and it's usually at the end. So
No, listen.
Z-Man's Banjo Minners.
No, listen. I remember watching the original infomercial for the Banjo Minnow with Babe Winkleman, and they had this guy, and he was like, has won over 300 bass tournaments. I was like, what? He's like, it's the best bait I've ever thrown. I've won more money on this bait than I have on any other bait combined. And it says down there, it's like Chris, winner of over 300 bass tournaments. And it's like,
Hey,
damn,
all
dude,
Dr. Lure.
where you at on the tour? You know, you won 300 bass tournaments, man. That's
well, I mean, it doesn't say how big they was. Or
it didn't say
how many
big they
people were
was.
involved. Or
Yeah, exactly. So
One-man tournament.
It's like I've won thousands of drag races. The light turns green, and I'm the first one down the road.
oh,
Doesn't matter
Lord.
if that other person knows.
Oh Lord, that's rough right there. I don't know, but go look up the original video. You'll see it. I swear, I laugh every time I see it. He's like, I've won over 300 bass tournaments. I'm like, what?
On the Banjo Minner.
And Babe Winkleman over there, he's like, we've been tearing them up and throwing them. We was catching and greasing left and right, pike and walleye on the Banjo Minnow. He's like, we gave them this thing that was torn to shreds, and they started catching fish on it. And it was just like, yeah, sure. And they throwing it in a bass tank that's full of hungry bass that probably ain't ate in like 3 days. Damn, they gonna eat anything, man. They'll eat anything that comes through there. Banjo, that's how my
That's
chocolate
a
lab.
good name
That's a
for a
good
dog.
name for a
That's a
chocolate
good
lab,
name for a
though.
dog.
Yeah, that's a good name for a chocolate banjo. Banjo, I like that.
Horrible bait. But a
Horrible
good name
bait,
for it.
great name.
Good name for a
I
dog.
almost named my boy dog Roscoe. I'm glad I didn't. He's not a Roscoe. He ain't but this big and this tall. Named him Gus. We got Gus and Ginger. I miss them very much. Can't wait to go home and see them. So yeah,
We gotta
they've
get us a shop animal.
they've been we do. I got 2 of them. I bring them up here. They're adorable. They'll sell baits.
Shop cat or something.
They'll sell baits. Ginger loves on you, and your heart will melt. The Banjo Minnow, just put a live shad on it as a trailer, and you're all set.
I ain't never seen a Rapala infomercial though.
I've never seen a Rapala infomercial. I've heard
Well, they don't need one.
they don't need
They
one.
sell thousands upon
just,
thousands
people
of
buy
baits in a day.
people buy rap. Is it okay? Let's talk about this.
Ooh, tough call.
Is it Rapala or is it Rapala? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
Rapala.
Rapala. That's how I say Rapala.
I switch back and forth. Like I think I grew up saying Rapala, but I'll say Rapala every now and then.
Rapala.
I'm from the south. I'm not the one of the northern ones that say
Yeah.
Rapala.
Yes.
You're from Blue Ridge.
Don't hold that against
Fanning
me.
County.
That's northern south.
Northern Georgia.
Like, so we're like, me and Farmer played
I mean,
basketball.
in the
against
trout
each
game, you
other.
just call it a rap.
Yeah, it's
You
rap.
call it a rap. Everybody knows.
See,
what you're
maybe it
throwing.
is. Maybe it is rap because they call they call everything like the shad rap and the X rap and stuff like that. So maybe it is rap.
What were you throwing? Raps.
So I'm throwing the shad rop, Rapala, the shad rop,
Shad rapé.
shad rapé.
Maybe that's what they do in
That's
Big
what
Canoe.
That's what we're gonna start calling the Rapala. We're the shad raps. We're gonna start calling them the rapés.
The repay.
The
shad-
rapés.
the
The
shad
shad rapés. A shad rapé number 7.
Ooh.
I'll call them a repay because I've won money on a DT6.
That's a DT6 though. Dives too.
Man. Shadow Rap 7, that used to be, you talk about a classic Lanier
Send
bait
them
in the
to me.
springtime.
Yeah, send them to us. Send them to us so we can watch them when the show's over in a little bit before we all part our ways, Chris. Send them to my Facebook account and we will watch some of them.
I guess I'm not surprised the Banjo Minnow's back. I mean, they've been giving the Mighty Bite guy way too much time.
Do you remember? I don't know if you do the what's that thing? He's like, it's as easy as let's go fish.
Yes!
It was like
Yes!
it was like this cheap ass Zebco 33 inside.
Okay,
this
do you not remember that,
clamshell.
Farmer?
I remember it.
The
Like show these guys golfing. They're like, oh, I'm gonna catch a big old bass.
okay, check it out.
It's about as useless as that. What is that gun? That bobber that opens up when it hits the water
Yeah.
and release everything.
I don't know, when you said that though, Farmer started looking a little embarrassed, like maybe he had
I
one at
didn't
some
have
point.
One of
like,
those.
Jeremiah,
I
if
do
anybody
remember
catch a
those.
fish on a banjo man, it'd be Jeremiah. He would probably catch like a 6-pounder.
how hard can it be?
I don't know. You just twitch it, I guess.
I mean, Zoom's been making a bait like that for a long time.
Exactly. And a lot of
I think
other
it's the
people trying to make an
infomercial.
honest living on
Well, I mean, if they're reselling it, they're reselling it because fishermen will buy anything that looks like it's going to catch a fish.
Well, I mean, now it's nostalgia. Now it's guys like us. I remember the Banjo Minnow. I'll buy
Well,
one
hey,
just for
the
fun.
Mighty Bite.
That's like when the
They're out there in they're out there in Gloucester out there catching tuna with the Mighty Bite. No, it catches the biggest fish out here.
We're getting some wicked bluefish on the Mighty Bite. We put the scent stick in there.
We're catching Mighty Bite. We're catching tuna, 600-pound tuna on the Mighty Bite lure with
Welcome
the God. What is the name of that? Instant Fisherman.
Instant Fisherman.
That's what it's called. We're throwing our Mighty Bites on our Instant Fisherman. And we're catching 600-pound bluefin tuna. It's ridiculous. The Instant Fisherman. I just remember them catching it'll even catch sharks.
They did.
Like,
They caught a shark with it.
That's like, what pound test are you throwing on that thing?
Well, it's like I've got buddies that have gone down to like Savannah and they caught bull reds on little like Barbie rods or whatever. You put some 80-pound braid on that joker and just
Does it cast worth a flip?
doesn't need to.
That needs to. It just right beside the boat. I seen a guy. There's a guy who reviews old school fishing lures, and I'll show them to you. I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube. And he got an Instant Fisherman, and he was like throwing it in this little pond, and he was getting like 20-foot cast, and he had like a half-ounce rattle trap on. Like, you should be able to reach to the other side of the pond, It's like, and he couldn't throw it, but like 20 feet out in front of him. It was hilarious. They're extremely smart. People have been talking about the banjo for years. Good Lord.
Now, Now, Nathan, did you tell her that they caught fish? Or were you
Probably.
honest?
You need to answer that question, Nathan. Answer it with an honest answer. Your grandma's not watching, to my knowledge, so you can give us an honest answer. So they go out and catch.
No, there was.
Oh yeah, they go out and catch for those infomercials that would hit a dirty boat if you threw it at them like an amberjack bike. Yeah, like they're just slaying fish. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Are they going
They're
down?
hammering them.
Or they're catching them on other things, and then they're putting that thing on there. Like, we're catching them on
Oh,
this.
look what I got on this.
Yeah, look what I caught on the Mighty Bite. Oh God.
Now, did you actually have Jimmy Houston's bowl cut?
I think he did. He might have a picture of it.
Jimmy Houston's still got that haircut.
He's
made that thing work
And
for
he
him for a
still
lot of years.
And he still
He's-
kills the fish,
And
too.
he's still throwing spinner. I'll throw spinnerbait.
I actually saw him give a little talk at Bass Pro Shops in Sugarloaf one time.
Did you learn anything other than spinnerbait catch fish? All the
I
time?
think
that's like
I
all
think
he
I
ever
was
talks
enter-
about.
I remember being entertained, and there he was, Jimmy Houston. Back when the Spring Fishing Classic was actually a thing and not just a sale, when it was an event and they brought people in. I about bumped into Roland Martin in the Zoom aisle.
Well,
There he was.
I'm glad you didn't start talking to him. You've probably been stood there for 2 hours. They said that man just talks.
Does he?
They say he just talks and talks and talks and talks.
Yeah, why not?
And he's always talking about, I remember I was on in 94 and 85 and 74. I was on.
All I'm going to say is we're one to talk. We're sitting here on
Yeah,
the show for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know, yeah, we're
I
one-
say
yeah.
when you get to be his age, you'll be looking back. I remember when I turned 30 and I was in the Fish North Georgia basement pouring jigs.
Yeah, I'm shooting myself in the foot on this. I'm gonna look back at this. I'm gonna be like, golly. So yeah, we'll see, Chris. We'll see you next Thursday night. We'll have Chris. He's gonna try to bring somebody else. Don't know who it will, but we'll let y'all know ahead of time who he's gonna bring. And we'll be talking about Kings Lanier tournament. We'll be talking post BFL, I'm sure.
There it is.
And
We'll be talking about Farmer's big win.
we'll talk about Farmer's big win on the BFL. And so Chris, we'll see you later. Appreciate you watching as always. And we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the benefit for Nathan, which is Black Friday. So go ahead and make plans to be a part of that if you can.
Okay.
'Cause fishing will be money on Black Friday because everybody's shopping.
It was good
Ah,
last
hell, I'll
year
be
on
working.
Black Friday.
Everybody's shopping. Jimmy Houston was a spinnerbait master. Dude, that dude, I'm telling you, let's not talk about Jimmy Houston anymore. Anytime I pull up the Jimmy Houston show, it's all about, it's like God made the spinnerbait.
Can you get past the giggle?
That's pretty, yeah. You know, and you can pitch it, flip it, cast it, roll cast it. It's all kinds of things. He goes through all these scenarios of how to cast a spinnerbait, and it's like,
Skip it.
jeez, you know. But maybe.
See, I've always wondered, like, all them other guys give him
That'd be good, Chris.
mess for the giggle.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to hear him run down what he has on them. You know?
Yeah.
I just been curious. What do you think? Like, Hank Parker and Roland Martin and them been running him down for the giggle for years. You know Jimmy Houston by now, he's got to have something that he hits back with.
I don't know.
Parker's kind of got a goofy haircut.
Hank Parker's Hank Parker, man. He's the only guy I've ever seen stand on the bank of a private lake or a private pond fish with Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Is that
I mean, that's just like,
that happened?
yeah, it
apparently.
happened. It happened. It did happen. You can YouTube it. It's on there. He's fishing with Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt driving fast and catching bass.
There it is.
That's what it was. So,
Jimmy on the show.
yeah, let's get Jimmy on the show. Good Lord.
I don't know
How
how
much
that would go.
how much
I
you
don't
gotta
know how
pay
that
for
would
that?
go.
I don't know how it would have been.
It'd get deep quick. We'd need hit boots.
God almighty. So yeah, I
Hank
don't know.
Parker
What else
does
we got?
have a pretty good mustache.
Dude, he's never let go of it. He's had it. Like watching
Speak-
him. Like when I watch his recent episodes from a couple years ago, it's like I gotta click back on the computer on the TV. I gotta like scroll down and see. Oh, it's 2012. Because it's like I thought it was like 95. It's still the same.
Speaking of goofy haircuts, Shaw Grigsby with that whatever he's got going on up top there.
Gosh, he's getting old, dude.
Is he?
Yeah, he's getting old. I just like how he gets. He's the giggle master.
He's the
Shaw
giggle
Grigsby.
master.
Is he a giggler?
Oh God, he giggles.
But old Shaw can flip.
He can flip.
I mean, he's the
I mean,
king.
they're all hammers. I mean,
He's a bad-
let's not act like we're down in their ability.
Yeah, we're not down their ability. I mean, they can catch fish out of a mud hole, but Shaw, he's the bedfish master.
Oh, he's just a shallow water master.
He likes to bedfish in Florida. So I remember watching him, and he was talking about you got to turn your hat to the sun like this when you bed fishing, so you can see with your sunglasses. And I was like, are you getting that serious about it?
So he's like, yep.
I just say, oh, eagle eye through these glasses right here. Oh, eagle eye, I'll get them. I'll see him. I'll see him. That's what Harold always says. He says, oh, eagle eye, I'll get them. I adopted that. I said, yeah, eagle eye. I see him. Oh, God.
Oh, that's cool.
I've met Shaw in a catfish rodeo as a kid. He's a super nice dude. Yeah, I've always heard, like, he's one of the pros that was just, like, treated you like I'm a professional
Like $1 million
fisherman, but he treated you like you were no different than him on the street.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's how you build the brand, man.
It's like when my dad seen Randy Travis at a Cracker Barrel in South Carolina one time, and we was all standing there. I was like, damn, that's Randy Travis. My dad said, no, it ain't. And I said, no, it is Randy Travis. I swear. If it ain't Randy Travis, I said, if somebody looks just like him. My dad said, give me a napkin. He got a napkin. He went out there and he come back about 10 minutes later. Yeah, that was Randy Travis. I told you it was Randy Travis. I told you. It was Randy
the
Travis.
jokes was on you. He was the one that got to go meet Randy Travis while he was goofing around.
Chris sent me the link. We'll have to watch that when we get done here in a little bit. So, all right. So let's try to get back on track. I know we're falling on. We're living up to the name.
We went
falling
on
on our
our
faces. We went from bass fishing.
Bass fishing, TV fishermen.
We're TV fishing.
Somebody had
little
to mention
strategery.
somebody had to mention the banjo minnow, and it just took a hard left.
Hey,
Lady, one woman said, I need to cut the grass. I said, I can't do it. I said, I'm watching the Orlando
The
Wilson
Wilson
Fishing
Fishing
Show. So, I just remember him. My grandparents had one of them Astros
from
just like
Georgia,
what he
isn't he?
had. Yeah, he lives in Adairsville.
okay.
Yeah, so he don't live that far out of the way. I think he's still alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm pretty sure.
he
I always
is, too.
preferred him to Bill Dance. The Braves hat sold it.
I wonder how a fly fishing only bass tournament would go.
Ooh, on the
I
right
like-
piece
I like
piece of
that.
water, that would be super fun.
That
love
would be
that.
Yeah.
interesting.
On
It
the right
really
piece of water,
would.
that would be super fun.
Yeah, I would pay to see that.
The rabbit hole. That is a good name because it always goes down at least one.
Oh, the rabbit hole! I know it always goes down the rabbit hole. But tonight's improv, so we are trying to force the bus to go down the rabbit hole tonight, so we have stuff to talk about.
Man, that just,
I
don't know, man.
I don't know.
Like,
I
what
really
are we
don't.
doing?
I really don't know what we're doing, but we're having fun, and I think we've got more laughing emojis on the thing than we have ever had, I believe.
There we go.
So at least we're trying to entertain you.
We're men of the
guys.
people. We're out here connecting with the fans.
We're trying to. It's been a long week, guys. I've been here by myself. Somebody help
God,
me.
you are more like Danny every week.
It's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse.
It's been a long
I've been like
week,
begging
boys.
people, kind of like, please come see me. I'm dying.
He's texted
It's
me
2
at
o'clock.
least 3 times this week. Are you sleeping?
Yeah, I tell you, are you sleeping?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll leave Farmer alone. Let him sleep. I'm over here. I'm like,
I mean, is he calling you
like-
late at night asking,
No,
what you
I
thinking about?
was on night shift
he's on
this
night
week.
shift. For
So when I go home in the morning at 8 o'clock, I go to bed. Well, he texts me about 10, 11. Hey, you asleep? Yes, I was.
I woke him up.
Trying to.
But
Man, that gets me.
we're talking
every
about
time,
brim.
too.
We had a conversation on Chris Randolph's post about brim.
Okay.
And they talked about brim, and
I like brim. Brim was fun.
Was said,
Speaking of fly fishing, by the way, if you want to learn to fly fish brim on a fly rod's about as much fun as you can have.
You
what
go
do you
and
fly with like a cricket?
no popping bug.
Yeah, you get a little yellow popping bug. Oh man,
I don't know,
As fun
Derek.
as anything.
That's a Danny question. Sweet baits is
is that the juice?
no, it's just like $108
Oh,
For one.
for one. I think the cheapest one's like 140 or something like that.
I've heard the name. I
Yeah,
just
sweet bait.
those
Kevin
old sweet bait.
Kevin always talks about sweet bait. He's like, man, you get you some of them sweet baits. I said, I ain't dropping $300 on 2 baits. I ain't doing it. So, the brim. Well, I said something. I told Chris. I told everybody who's on that post. I said, it don't matter what the brim are. I said, all you gotta do is when they come get you boat or come get you bait. What do you say when the brim come?
The brim coming.
The brim coming. You throw it there, the brim coming. Here they come.
Every time ever since I've been in your boat, every time I see a brim come out, I hear it ring in the back of my head, and I'm like, God.
I told Farmer that. I said, the brim cometh. He said, what's that mean? I said, bass are nearby.
They're close.
They're close. Oh, Lord. Lord.
I saw that play out the other day. I was chucking baits off the dock.
The brim cometh.
the brim cometh.
The brim cometh.
And all of a sudden, about 15, 20 minutes later, I'm throwing out in the deep water, and I hear kaboom, big slurp. I turn around, there's a big boil and about a 3-pound spot there, and one of those brim goeth.
The brim got choketh.
The brim went.
I like to throw up there, and I say the brim cometh, and the brim are chasing it, and all of a sudden the brim like stop for a second with the horny toad, and they go, whew, and about that time they go, whew, you see, oh, Billy Bass come up. The brim got out of the way before Billy Bass come and got it.
For Billy Bass, doubled
that
up.
Is the brim are my life scope. Yeah. When I see the brim scatter, I know something's about to happen. I said, there they are right there.
See, Nathan, you say that, but you're worried about that OG being too big?
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to Blackwell, up there talking about Notley.
Yeah, do it. Hit it. Run away with it. I'm going to go get something to drink. Run away with it.
Notley, the bait are going to start going in the backs of these arms like ivy log, young cane, go up river. The largemouth, if you go shallow, your largemouth are going to show up in your willow trees, your buckbrush and stuff like that, chasing bait. Yeah. Your spot bass are going to be pulled out a little more. They'll be up in the creeks as well, but they're
already bringing it down up there.
Yeah, it's already in a drawdown.
How far do they pull that down every year?
16 foot.
Is it constant, pretty much 16, or?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Well, I've heard rumor that they're going to fix the penstock this year, so it's going to be like 40 foot, and nobody's going to be able to fish the lake.
I'll be able to fish it.
You will. Nobody in a bass boat will.
That plastic boat go right down that bank to the water.
But top water works really well this time of year on Notley. Your gunfishes.
Gunfishes?
Yeah, well, gunfishes.
Gunfishes.
Like my gunfish.
That bait got forgot about.
Well, you afraid someone's gonna remember?
Gunfish, and then we're gonna be screwed.
Spinnerbait works really well, especially when them herring and the thread fin, because the thread fin will go back there mid-October too.
Yeah.
So spinnerbaits, the bladed jigs work really well. I love a bladed jig on Notley.
I say, you're Mr. Scrounger up there. Is that a 365 lure up there?
Not 365.
280,
but close. It's the pulse fish jig. Pulse fish jig.
Shout out Pulse.
Yeah.
Shout out
Pulse fishing lure.
And the spinning.
I don't know. They're yours.
And the spinning PJ.
The spinning PJ. Yeah. The pulse fish jig's probably the best scrounger I've found. I don't care how many fish you catch on that thing's still got a wobble
still
to it.
Swims good.
It ain't doing that helicopter going through the water. But a scrounger this time.
That's called Petey Pablo.
Mm-hmm. The scrounger this time.
I said that one tournament with one of my buddies. I said, damn spinnerbait's going Petey Pablo. He said, what? And I said, it's good, just take your shirt off, let it run your head like a helicopter. I said, it's going Petey Pablo.
But
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I understood that reference.
But Craig, if I was you, I'd target probably my Long Creek arms where there's fresh water coming in, anywhere from the second to the last channel swing, trying to catch up to where the bait fish are at that moment in time. Wherever you find the bait is where you're going to find the fish at.
Eric called me. Okay, man, Eric. With a spinning PJ. That's Matt Aries' bait, the spinning PJ. That's Matt Aries' bait. That's the one he designed.
Oh, it's
It's
legit.
It's legit.
I threw that thing on Lanier this summer. Right as they come out with it, they sent me a couple of them.
Jeremiah said,
Yeah, I know. There's a
yeah,
couple
we got some scroungers walking
there.
around all the time.
They ain't walking.
There's
They're
this
sitting on the
random
steps.
beer bottle outside right now too. We don't know
was
where it
wondering
come
about
from.
that.
I thought it was.
I rolled up Monday morning at 8:00, and I was like, "Where did that come from?"
No, they're not. They're not walking around outside, Jeremiah. They're sitting on the front porch.
Sitting on the porch.
But
Well,
They
should be sitting
they
on the
want to
bar
know if
stool,
we're talking about
acting like
fishing.
a darn fool. Yeah, they want to know if we got anything to eat in there. I don't know. God,
Y'all partying?
God, yeah. Well, y'all partying? No, y'all got anything good to eat in there? No. So, I'll never forget that till the day I die. I never will.
no,
Oh,
we're going
Lord.
that way.
Golly, what else can we talk about? We still got like 30. Well, our participation's dropped, so we must have got bored.
We must be getting boring.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Say, we're
gonna
having
still
more
talk
fun,
about
and
it.
everybody dislikes it. Like,
Well, we have fun.
they're having too much fun.
We're having too much fun, but it's all good.
I don't know. You covered the BFL. We did a little tournament strategery.
Mm-hmm.
Farmer got to talk about Notley. Farmer's happy.
Farmer got to talk about knowledge. Them largemouth be making them crazy, man.
There are Boomhauers over here, and
Dang old woo.
I don't care what you say. Everybody was talking about where you can go to catch big spotted bass in North Georgia. What was it, about a month ago? And it was Lanier, Burton,
yeah,
Carter's,
there were some names that got said.
just a few.
There were some names that
My
got
my vote for biggest largemouth in the North Georgia area is Notley.
Mm.
Burton is a close second.
I put Burton over.
said. There's some monsters in those Georgia Power Lakes.
I'm not. All
Clark Hill pretty good too.
all I'm saying is I have fished Burton because I live when I lived in Fannin, I lived an hour and 45 minutes from Burton.
Oh, so we left Fannin.
I left Fannin.
He
Good
left
for
the
you.
Rebels.
Good for you. You
No, I'm going.
succeeded.
I want to go back. But
He seceded from me. Oh gosh. I think Clark Hill probably got a good shot too.
I said North Georgia.
That's North Georgia.
No, so you follows out then. Well, I mean, you follows the Bass Capital. It says right on the
It
sign.
says it when you
drive
roll.
into
If
town.
anybody's ever been to Panama, it says, like you follow the bass capital of the world or big bass capital of the world. My grandpa's always like, when's the last time you fished down here when we're going to the beach? I'm like, it's been a minute, but I come down here. Oh, Lord.
But
it's
all
killing
I was
me.
saying, like let's go Lanier north because
That's North Georgia.
that's North Georgia.
That's Appalachia.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't say that too loud.
I think from my experience, I can go to Notley and catch an 8-9 pounder
That's nice.
more consistent than I can go to Burton and catch an 8-9
Murphy's.
pounder.
It's Murphy's. Dude, I've seen some massive fish.
Oh, there's
on
some
Burton.
massive fish on Burton.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, there's 11, 12
Giants.
pounders on Burton. But like I said, the way I like to fish, Notley is going to pull 8-9
Yeah.
pounder for me.
I'd like to try that. Y'all ever done
I
the
don't-
surf fishing?
Heck yeah, I went surf fishing this past year. I caught the ever living piss out of Permit and Pompano.
I mean, that looks like a good time. You
It
see
was
people
fun.
where they take the baits out like 200 yards with the kayak or whatever.
I got like a
and
big old 10-foot surf rod, and it's just
Yeah.
like,
you just launch it.
whoomps. Yeah. And this guy from Kentucky's like, how you catching all them fish? And I was like, well, I'm just getting it farther out than you. And I put like I put 2 3-ounce pyramid weights on my rig. That sucker said, he's just gone. I said, you got to tie a good knot too. You'll lose it. I don't believe that Notley had those super big ones, but this spring changed that. I guess Eric Beasley went fishing up there in the spring.
He had become a believer.
He
A lot of people became believers of Notley.
He joined the Church of Black Bass, is what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Well, it's got the same strain of bass in it that Chickamauga does. The S5 strain.
F1.
or F1.
They got some half.
I got some
some
half-breeds.
halvesies.
The
Half
breeds.
breeds in there. That cross between a Florida strain and a
And
northern strain.
The first generation.
First
cross
gen, yeah.
Between
We're not talking about these shrimp eaters on Lake X either, where they're eating them shrimp. They're like this big. They're like blue. Like I've seen videos of that stuff.
Wait,
and
what?
Like, you ain't never seen that?
no.
At Lake X, they have like these big old shrimp in them. That's what
What
the
the
bass
hell's
eat.
Lake X?
Like you could go take like a sand colored jig. I would like if I was going to go fish Lake X, I would take a sand colored jig and put like an entire solid blue rage bug on the back.
I like this question of the guy.
I got this.
reef poles.
Reef.
Pretty much, yeah. Look at your map, find some long running points, tie on a big nasty topwater, and just go bombs away.
Reef poles.
And just
or-
rip it as hard as you can.
And throw a
If you
never
think
mind,
it's
I
too
won't
big, it's not big enough. If you think you're working it too fast, you're not working it fast enough.
Shoot, no, I caught one reeling back Wednesday as fast as I could reel it to fire at a
Yeah.
group of fish jumping, and one took it. And I was like,
in all seriousness, I will say this, Guy B. If there's any kind of wind on Lanier and a little bit of cloud cover, you can pick up a spinnerbait and go run like reef pole, wind blown bank after wind blown bank after reef pole, and you will catch fish on a spinnerbait. It is a spinnerbait lake.
it is. Not a
It
lot
really
of people
is.
fish it right
Not
now.
a lot of
'cause
people throw it.
Top water is the main.
Topwater so.
I caught 4 on it Sunday.
Well, spinnerbait.
Yeah, but they wasn't no size. They was just keepers. Yeah. Everybody's pretty much giving him what he needs to know. If you don't have electronics, he'd be like me and got $2,000 graphs on your boat. Don't even turn them on.
If I go shallow, mine never go on.
I never turn my graphs on when I'm gonna go shallow. What about Altoona?
Don't talk about Altoona to me.
Farmer
right
don't
now.
want to talk about Altoona because he had a bad weekend last week.
You had a bad experience?
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh, he broke off.
Oh, take us through
He
it.
broke off. Like
I already
a
been through
fish.
Oh?
Yeah.
Broke off on 8, kicked my measuring board in the water, spilt dye in the boat.
Oh, man.
I don't want to talk
See,
about
there's a
Altoona.
tournament question. You're dealing with adversity. That's an adverse situation.
Adversity, and I failed.
Positive
Miserably.
mental attitude.
Oh, is that what?
Positive mental
Positive
attitude.
mental attitude?
I'm gonna give you this band.
I appreciate it. I need where I can sit there and snap it.
He'll need that. That'll be the good luck charms that carries him to the victory.
I don't know. It's the way my luck's been going. If I step foot in somebody else's boat, and he can tell you personally everything goes to shit.
It did.
He had like 10 blow-ups on a buzzbait and missed every one of them.
And then I go back the very next weekend and I stick a hook in every one of them, and you weren't there.
Yep. So
I was sitting there. I was like, "Damn it, Farmer! Could have won that tournament." Oh well. I'll be out tomorrow beating the bank, still waiting on paddle. Up creek without a paddle. I don't know if that's
did Jeremiah finally get him a kayak or something to fish out of?
I know we went with some guys. He went with Billy Slatton and someone else.
Blake Mead has a champion for the blown motor on the back of it. It's a Champion 181. He wants 2,500 for it. It's got XR6 and.
Don't tell me that. That's what I got on my boat.
We can find a motor. I can find you a motor. I know plenty of people who got motors.
Don't tell me the XR6 is blown up because that's what's on the back of
Well,
mine.
it's an older XR6. It's
How
older
much
than
older?
yours. It's older than yours. It's older than yours. They all gonna blow eventually.
Man,
They all pop.
don't put that out there.
They all pop. They all pop.
Whether
Whether
they
they pop with 200 hours or 1,200 hours, they all pop eventually. They all run out of time.
Good to know.
Just
because
gotta take
mine's
care
almost
of them
20
while you
years
got
old.
them. Take care of them while you got them, and it'll fire right after a time. Golly,
Until it pops.
until it pops. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'll come save you.
Oh,
Let's see here. I don't know.
come
What
good
else
on
would
that
we-
Ceto membership.
I don't have one.
You get Towboat RS or
Towboat
Towboat
RS.
RAS.
Trust me, I was out on Lanier last year and my motor actually caught fire. I had electrical fire.
Oh, way.
And I got it put out. Well, I sit there. I had
you do.
I had which I should have let it go up. I got a new boat and everything out of it because insurance would have covered it. But had the motor up. Was at Flat Creek and had put in at Van's Tavern and was on the trolling motor going across the main body. I don't know how many boats because it is Lanier. Passed me, never stopped, but a Ceto stopped and says, "Do you need some help?" I said, "Yeah, how much you going to cost me to tow to Van's Tavern?" He goes, $250 if you're not a member. I went, "You just go right on ahead. This trolling motor will get there."
Sounds like I need to go buy me a towboat. Yeah, dodging boogeyman, Russian mob. Yeah. We upset them last week pretty good. That's why we got demonetized.
We did get demonetized last week.
We got
and the week
demonetized
before.
2 weeks in a row. We've gotten demonetized. So
We're not going to get demonetized.
the power might not be on next week. We never know.
But
Did you see the news for March 12th, Paul?
Should I have?
I don't know. That's what Justin Speed said. Paul? Did you see the news for March 12th?
Oh, maybe.
maybe not.
Is it
Yeah.
Kayak World related?
I think it is.
Oh,
If it's what I think it is, I think it's related to the Georgia Kayak Fishing League season opener for next year.
ooh, how much
We're,
money does that pay out?
I don't know. Depends how many people are in it.
Ooh.
Well,
I know there's going to be a lot of people in it because we are linking up with another league from Florida, and we're going to go down to Seminole and catch some bass.
Is it on Lanier or where is it at?
We're going to go down to Seminole and catch some bass.
Well, I'll be on Hartwell March 12th of next
So it's
year.
Florida versus Georgia.
but the guy
God,
that asked
don't
about,
upset us.
the guy that
Don't
asked
upset
about
us.
Altoona.
Don't upset Georgia.
Yeah, don't upset. Don't leave Georgia. Don't leave Georgia hanging with that. Oh well.
But that
So we'll see. I think that'll be a cool event. I think we'll have a lot of fun doing that. I've never been to Seminole, so
I love Seminole.
Is it good?
Yes, it's great.
What do you do there?
Throw spinnerbait, rattle trap, and flip grass.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
hand-to-hand combat sounds like my fishing.
And there is some deep water involved in Seminole too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of shallow water. You'll be running wide open and be all these barker buoys all of a sudden. And it's like, do not lean the one way because you look out there and say, man, look at that bird over there sitting on that stump. And then that bird ain't standing on stump, it's standing in the water. it's like, it's as far as you can see and it's like this deep.
I'll be running wide open at 3.5 miles an hour, as fast as I can paddle.
Yeah. You gotta see what Nathan said too. You can go up the Flint River. You take out Baden Ridge Boat Basin and go up Flint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Flint River Shoalies, baby. Or you can.
I'm all in. After we were down there a couple weeks ago, I'm all in on that.
You can go up.
We had so
Chattahoochee.
much fun up there.
You can go up down yonder on Chattahoochee.
Oh, will it be hotter than the Hoochie Coochie?
Mm-hmm. It will be.
Yeah, no, don't sing.
It will be.
Don't sing.
No, I ain't gonna.
Oh man, I just got us demonetized.
Yeah. Alan
I said some words from a song.
Alan
my
Jackson's
bad.
cool. Alan Jackson's cool. Now I caught more fish on spinnerbait on Seminole than I have anything else.
Well, I believe that.
You come down with me on to St. John's
Oh, we can
if
go.
I make it.
Yeah, you're gonna make it.
You gonna make it?
You're gonna make it.
We gotta
I
send
know.
good.
I
gotta send good vibes towards Farmer because he's gonna make it. He's just gotta catch
5.
about 5.
You gonna fake it till you make it.
That's right.
Not 5 pounds. He needs to catch 5. Go about 12. He should be all right. Oh, what else can we talk about for 13 minutes? I don't know.
I don't know.
All you need a few fish and you're in. Yeah, that's true. Just go catch me a limit.
Just go catch a limit.
I'm gonna be sitting in my lawn chair. Y'all come hang out with me. I'll be sitting in my lawn chair.
I'm gonna have to do a couple Hail Marys and stuff before I leave the house because if I have the same day I had on Altoona, I'm gonna be upset.
Tackle up.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Tackle up.
Exactly.
But that guy that
Well,
asked about Altoona, I can tell him where the fish are at, what they're doing. There's a lot of fish schooling. You catch them on top water, swim jig, little crankbaits like a rapala,
What kind of swim jig?
the True Grit Bad Shad.
Man, crushed it.
Fire, dude.
That's
Crushed
right. Things fire. Or you can run up, take a shaky head, just a regular old green pumpkin shake or worm.
It's a shaking head now. for us,
shaking
right?
head.
Is it a shaking head?
It's a shaking
officially?
head. And
That's the
put
fish on
and
Georgia
put
way
that
of saying
thing,
it. Shaking head.
put it in any lay down, in a pocket, any lay down, and there's a fish in it.
Okay.
That's why I broke off 8 times on a hook set. It was a spinning rod, and I'm sitting there got jig fishing
Dropping
on
a
the brain,
hammer on them.
and dropping the hammer and going that 8-pound test, 10-pound test, can't handle it.
You suck.
That's right.
I've
well.
been there many times.
Well, when is the weigh-in for the BFL? It should be starting at what, 3?
It'll start at
3:30?
3:30, something
Where
like
is
that. And I'm sure there'll be, like Nathan said, there'll be 5 flights. I'm sure there's going to
It'll
be
probably
a
get over
ton
about
of boats.
It'll probably be over around.
It'll be over around
6.
6:30.
Yeah.
You can go and watch it live.
That's right, Kevin Underwood. The shaking head.
Shaking
Shaking
head.
head.
Not stirred.
Shaking head, not shaky. Shaking head. You know an old shaking head down there. He makes a hell of a rod, by the way, in case anybody's wanting a technique-specific rod. Kevin's got you covered. They're light. They're fast. It's like holding Zeus's lightning in your hand, or Mjolnir. It's not like holding Mjolnir, but it's like you feel the power of it. It's great. Been having trouble with fish holding the baits and missing the hooks and fighting all the way to the boat and just let go. That sounds like a personal problem.
That could be they're swiping at it. I've had a lot of swiping going because they're trying to kill the.
On Altoona.
They're slapping.
They're
He
slapping
said
at
on
it.
Altoona. So is that
That's exactly. Well, that's what I saw with the top water. They're coming up and they're smacking at it, trying to kill the bait, and then they'll come back for
they're
it.
small on Altoona. They don't just eat stuff.
they're babies?
No, they're so cute.
They're babies.
Well, I mean,
baby
the
sharks.
stuff they were feeding on Altoona when I was there Saturday was no bigger than my fingernail.
Baby
Little-
shark.
I mean, this year's shad fry.
Little itty bitty threads.
Minners.
Minners.
The minnows.
Banjo minners.
But if you can,
Minnows.
but if you can find, if you can
Minnows.
find them schooling, and I mean, you can't throw anything in there that they won't eat. If they're sitting there busting, it hits the water, they're hitting it. And I tell you this, Brandon, if you're having a lot of trouble, say on your top waters, and they're throwing the hook, get away from your round bends. Put the EWG treble hooks on there, and if you hook up with them, they'll stay pinned a lot better than the round bend hooks.
There you go.
Put Fletcher's on.
Owner makes a really good EWG. I switch all my treble hooks out.
I like an owner.
Owner.
I don't know. I'm any of the kind of big 3 aftermarket hooks. I've never had any real problems with them.
I'll change out my split rings too.
So on Altoona right now, they're going splish splash.
Pretty much.
And you throwing at them, and they're splish splash because they're this big.
No.
Some of them are bigger than that.
Yeah. I had about a
It ain't like the
I had about a
school
3.5 come off Saturday.
It ain't like the school I had come up on me Sunday, and I said, God Almighty, there they are, and I threw at them and started winding my bait, and it's just. I was like, God Almighty.
Yeah, he called brag. He called striper.
They come up the spots, and the spots come up, and then I got up to I fought it, and then I was like, good Lord, I'm here for the pro staff discounts. That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, you're in luck, baby. We're all getting together, and we're going to go fish Lake Charity this weekend.
Lake Charity.
Lake Charity.
You start today with a 10% discount. Oh Lord, I'm just here for the pros. That's great. I love
It's
it.
not what we
It's
can do
pro
for you.
staff.
It's what you can do for
I'm
Charity.
going. If you
It's what
you need to go on YouTube.
That's
Go on YouTube and look up the pro staff guy, and it's like these animated videos. Have you ever seen them?
Maybe.
Oh my God, they're hilarious, dude. It's like he's like sitting there explaining to his wife. He's like, I got on the Texas Toyota fishing forum, and now everyone thinks that I am the greatest fisherman ever. And now I've got all of my pro staffs. That's what he says, and it's hilarious, dude. And she's like, "Why is the minivan wrapped? I have to represent all of my sponsors."
Yes.
It's so great. It's
Woo Tungsten.
Hey, don't go down, Woo. I'm sponsored
What's
by
up?
Woo.
Okay.
So you get your 10% discount.
I get my 10% discount. That's 15 actually.
Lord, 15.
I'm just jealous that I don't get my 10% discount.
You got
Woo, call me.
Woo, call me. That's right. That's right.
I didn't wear my woo shirt today.
What do y'all mean by shad kill? That's when it gets cold enough to kill off the shad. We have
Well,
the,
you have
the
a-
When we
little,
get
the little shad will die in the winter and they can't survive and they die.
yeah, who wants to go there? It's anytime we get an actual hard winter where we get some water temps under about 45,
Yeah.
those shad, they just can't make it anymore. They'll
little
get
bitty
stunned.
ones.
Yeah, the
your
little bitty
your
ones.
your thread fin and your
down-
smaller
Once-
bait are first to go. Then
Yeah, the
it just
bigger-
depends, and it depends on what kind of shock too. If you're
Yeah.
you sit there got fall weather like we got, all of a sudden it drops into the teens, and all those bait are up in the shallows
That's also true.
trying to make it back out, and they can't make it out of that shot, and it shocks them. It'll kill them too, and
Yeah.
it'll float them.
That's when you go throwing jerk bait and stuff in the backs of these pockets real shallow.
Right.
And catch some monsters. You catch 2 at a time.
Because what is a shad that's dying because he's shocked to do?
Free food.
It's free food. He's
But what does he act like?
It's like ring. He's like,
He's got,
he looks like a banjo minnow.
and then he's got,
Look
and
at
that's
that.
all he's got.
Look at that. He looks like a banjo minnow. I just said that out loud.
During the shad kill,
Like a Benjamin.
Nathan's asking about. During the shad kill, I throw a jerk bait. That's something I can jerk
jerk
and just
bait.
leave it
Yeah,
there.
and just let it sit.
A jerk bait, and then if over deeper water in the
Spoon.
mouths of the creeks, dude, a
Spoon.
spoon is like, dude, like if you find a place where you look down in the water and you see dead shad like floating around and stuff, like, oh my god, like you'll sit there and catch like
Dude.
50 fish.
Yeah, no.
Like literally, dude, like you'll catch like.
Well, if you got somewhere that's got some good bare bottom and they're around, you can just let that spoon just fall to the bottom and just stay semi-tight and just wait for the thump.
And on the lower end of the
And
lake,
then rip it again and let it do the same thing and wait for the thump.
and on the lower and on the extreme lower end of the lake, and then far up the Chestatee and up the Hooch and those creeks, creek arms and stuff, you'll be catching fish on a spoon, and then you'll didn't get a bite. Reel that sucker up, getting ready to drop on it again, and the shadow comes following this thing up. It's like a 30-pound striper. That's low. Hold on a minute.
Dude, a striper eating a jigging spoon is the funniest thing in the world because they eat it. It is the punkest punk bite. It is just tap. And then when you put the iron to them.
Oh, I got it. It's sweet. And then it's. God almighty! I'm hung! And then it goes, whoa, 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 like that. It's like, no, I ain't hung neither. Goddamn striper on. This is-
I'll never forget the first one I caught on a spoon like that. Like, the bite was so light that I missed him. I felt the tap, and I was like,
What was that?
oh, crap, that was him, and I missed him. And he swung back around, and it hit it again, and I swung hard, and it was a nice fish, too, for just like, boop.
You'd be like, I ain't. Yeah, that's exactly
you
what
know.
it was. You'd be like my partner was last
I don't always hook trees, but when I do, I fight it like it's a fish.
You'd be like my partner was last year, and shout out to Bronson. He's had shoulder surgery, so he ain't been able to fish. But he said he's back there. We was fishing in January, and we spooning on some in this mouth of this ditch. And neither one of us had got a bite yet. We just started fishing. And I was like, God, they're all over the place down there. He goes, I got one, boy, reeling it up. And he said, I think I got a stick. We're like in 48 feet of water, and it's a crappie.
Dude,
I was dead by the time.
And
it
about
got to the
that
surface.
time, I said, "Damn, it's a crappie." I felt this slight little tick tick on my spoon, and I said, and I just lifted and started reeling, and it took off one time, and I said, and hauled it on up, and it was another crappie.
Dude,
I was like, all that spaghetti strings down there was crappie. It was
last
so
winter, honest to God, I got a crappie out in like 80 feet of water on a spoon.
They'll get out
and
there.
in the bottom.
They'll get
Like,
out there.
Yep, I did it on Carter's Lake, and about 85 foot because I saw
yeah,
some fish
there's
down there,
lots of
dropped
fish
it.
down
And
there.
I hooked it and I was reeling it up, letting it fight.
Thanks,
Thing was
Jeremiah. We'll see you,
dying.
man.
It was
Yeah.
dead by the
No,
time
it's
it got
same
to the
thing.
surface. It was done. I was like, well, I guess I'm going home with you.
You're right.
Oh Lord,
Nathan, to answer your question, I feel a little dirty saying match the hatch because I'm not a match the hatch guy, but with the spoon, about whatever size bait you're seeing. That's what size you want to go.
Start with a 3/4 or 1 ounce. That's about that big, right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And start with that.
Oh,
and
this
then
is
go
the
from
jigging.
there.
This is the jigging spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is jigging spoon.
Well, you just said y'all like bigger spoons.
This
than
is
smaller
where you
ones.
drop it over the side. And
If
then
you're in
make it on your
shallow,
graph.
if you're up shallow, I feel like you go with the flutter. I mean,
I like a flutter anywhere from
little mojo
45
or-
up.
Yeah.
I mean a 40 or because if you're over, let's say
Do you feel like in that cold water? Do you feel like it does too much though?
I watched a buddy of mine clean my clock in my boat on Blue Ridge, and I'm sitting there fishing a jerkbait, and it got wore out the week before
Yeah.
on a jerkbait. Was fishing a jerkbait. He threw one of them big Magnum spoons out there on Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna catch nothing with that. About that time, about a 7-pounder just goes thunk, dead of winter.
That's
And I was
one.
like, maybe not.
when do you throw the giant ones? It just really all just depends.
Striper fishing, that's a summertime game.
It's a spot game
We'll be
too.
throwing a big flutter spoon this weekend.
Yeah, it's a spot game too. If you ain't got one of them laid on deck, you might
Yeah.
not need to this weekend.
I started to say, if you're
Throw
gonna be
that-
there this weekend
throw
and you're
that-
seeing
throw
fish
that thing
down
out there.
that ain't
Yeah.
coming up,
Yeah,
toss that flutter spoon out there.
All right.
yeah.
A little juice for you, Nathan.
I don't know. Man. We sat on this hole one time. I swear we probably caught like 40 something. Man, every one of them is big. Just 2-pounder after 2-pounder after 2-pounder. I mean, there we got.
It's
We
fun
got to
wear
this
'em out
one
like
point.
that, though. Like
We had got to this one point when we got the school fired up though, where it was like the spoon wouldn't even hit the bottom. It just took off with it. And it was like we just keep pulling. it up.
that's fun, man. When you're dropping
So
in
fun.
40 feet of water and it goes down about 20 feet, and wait a minute,
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They
That's
put
not-
held
that's
your rod
not-
up and the line's going up.
that stopped falling. Why did that happen?
Oh,
But
Lord.
right now is a great time to be throwing a flutter spoon. When they start chasing, well, I mean, summertime is too, but when they start chasing those herring and absolutely hammering on them like they are right now, what I'm seeing them blow up off out of the water, and you can see it's about anywhere from 3 to 4 or 5 inches
Yeah.
long, and they're just popping them out of the water. Well, what do you, a flutter spoon right there
About
with
that
it,
size.
toss it out there, and out after a blow up, you see fish on the bottom, and it looks like a dead herring kind of shimmering down. Pow! Some of the big
Pow.
pow,
Pow.
Pow.
It's
Pow.
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 Not an Indian outlaw, are you?
Man, you're gonna get us demonetized again.
I am. That's the goal.
Every time I'm paranoid now. Every time we say anything from a song, that the YouTube police are coming.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Well-
are brave enough to fish them over brush. I'm not, because
gone.
I lose
Be
I
gone.
lose them if I do.
Be gone. I got spoon mold over there. I'm gonna paint some white. Spray paint.
I might need
Listen.
to buy some before I leave.
Listen,
I
it's-
got at least 1 or 2 extras.
Listen, we've had a lot of fun tonight. I hope y'all got some laughs. We had a good time.
All right.
Good luck to everybody this weekend. It's fishing BFL. Good luck to everyone that's just fishing in general. Guys, if y'all woke up this morning and felt what I felt, it's like, God almighty, thank the Lord. Where you been, Fall?
You're not wrong, man.
I mean, seriously, man, it was great. That felt great this morning. And so, with that being said, I know we improved, and I know this wasn't the way that the show was intended to go, but we had a lot of fun, and maybe somebody got something out of it, and at least you might got some belly rolls out of it from laughing.
I think we get some good juice.
we
in
get
in
some
these
pretty
shows.
good juice
We get
in
some
every
good
now
juice
and
in these
again.
shows.
I think Nathan learned a little bit, so at least anything. So, but yeah, so Paul's gonna head back here and he's gonna get ready to cut it off. Everybody say bye, Paul.
Bye, everybody. Good night, Tiffany.
Thank you, Paul. Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Breakfast with Tiffany. Listen,
Well, maybe
listen,
Saturday.
I'm demonetizing this. Like, oh Lord.
Good luck this weekend, Farmer.
I appreciate it.
Guys, again, good luck. Appreciate it. Appreciate the viewership. And tune in next Thursday night. We'll have a good show. Have Chris Taylor on, and we'll be talking about post BFL and some of the upcoming tournaments. Got a lot of big tournaments. We're going to be coming up here in October, and it's going to be some fun. So with that being said, guys, appreciate it. Appreciate the viewership, and we'll see y'all on the next one.